What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe? How are we doing today, guys? Are we all good? Are we all beautiful? I hope so. I hope so. I hope you had a nice, relaxing weekend. Really do. Really do. What's going on, chat? What the devil is going on, chat? What's the happy haps? You can see we got Thrawny, Lord Megatron, Kemi, Aatrox, Darth Orestes, June Castle as well. How are we all doing, guys? The old tribe talks, indeed, because we're all old, right? That's why you're calling us the older tribe talks? I think so. Thank you, Aatrox. I appreciate you, buddy. We'll be having one out tomorrow morning for whatever the Galactic Challenge is tomorrow. I haven't looked at it yet. The Whale, the Wolf, and the Welshman. Let's go. That's us, buddy. What's going on, Senest? Mr. Essex Hammer is in the house. How you doing, dude? I'm tired. Went to the climbing wall this afternoon with my best mate. I'm doing a little bit of that bouldering action. Do you know what I mean? It was good times. Do. It's going to be a gold crate max for most, as a Gungan one. Gungan one, or is it a Padawan Obi-Wan one? I haven't even looked. Just whip that up real quick. Let's see. Gungans. Yeah. It's going to do it. It'll be a trash one then. Because I'll be able to do it, obviously. But most people are just going to half-arse it, you know? So, unless it's really hard to get gold crate, which is quite a difficult thing to do, then nobody's going to watch it. So, I'll still do it, though. I'll still do it. Thank you, Robbie. Hey, Bones. How you doing, man? You should be able to get gold crate, I think. Maybe. I don't know, actually. Heatwave keeping me indoors. Glad you're on today. Ah. I'm taking it's a heatwave that's really hot. What's the weather look like where you're from? In Greece, it's pretty hot. Where I am right now, it's cloudy but relatively warm for the UK. For the UK, relatively warm. I think it's about 17 degrees. Something like that. Let's see what my phone says about the temperature. Temperatura. 19 degrees right now in Cardiff. For Cardiff, that's warm. Especially considering it's 8 p.m. How long does it take to get a Conquest character from Proving Grounds? Too long, Infinity. It depends. It depends. I believe you get 20 shards. 20 shards per successful attempt. So if you've got the Conquest Pass Plus, you can do that twice. That's 40 shards. Have you got any shards already? That already comes into play. Are you going to be using ultimate tokens on it? Quite a few things come into play there. That's fair, Aatrox. I appreciate you watching, buddy. I appreciate you watching. Is this the real Bones88, the YouTuber? Are we among YouTube royalty right now? That's me! Oh my god, it's actually Bones! Oh my god, he's so cute though. The real Slim Jim indeed. Do you like to be slim in it, or do you like to be Jim in it? Somebody recognizes me, huzzah! Call your mum, tell her, quick, go on. Don't mind me, I'm just doing my fleet climb. Because it's time for me to do my fleet climb. I just need to do that one fleet battle, baby. That one fleet battle, baby. Yeah, let's just continue to generate turn meter. Wamp, 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 wamp. I have a family WhatsApp group, and it's going insane in the membrane right now. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. You're insane, got no brain. Insane in the membrane. Alrighty then. A slap at the base. Okay, I'm pretty certain I can just put that in order from here. Good business. You're way cool. I mean, you're not setting the bar very high there, Bones, mate. Used to watch your Dragon Champs and SWGoH videos. You did Dragon Champions, Bones? No way, dude. You forget how they tier the reward boxes and GCs, but you can 100% get to the Ommies. Absolutely, yeah, you can get the 2 Ommies. You'll be fine. Do, 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 do. You missed Dragon Champions a lot. Is it still running, or did it get closed down, mate? What happened to Dragon's Champions? Did it get closed down, or is it just limping along? I have no idea. I think their biggest problem was that it's just an unknown IP, right? That's the thing. Who's going to play it? Dragon D's Nuts Champs. Is that what it was really called? Dragon D's Nuts Champions over your face. They named a champion. Yes, they did. It was me. No worries, Womprat. Thank you, buddy. Alright. Let's get introductions. Let's go ahead and jump into the VC right about now. The Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. What's going on, Mr. Carthrick? I can see you... Ooh, sorry.
Things.
Stuff and things. At the same time or at different times?
Of R8s I got to put together.
Oh, R8s, I see. I did an R9 today.
Yeah,
It was nice.
I got to do an R9 I don't want to do for
Which is?
ops. I got to do R9 Vet Chewy.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
You'll take that one all the way home to the bank.
I mean, if the Wookiees get some love again, then it will be deadly, because I know the high relic. Veteran Chewbacca has one of the highest scaling armor pens naturally. He has got like 450 natural armor pen, which is like in the top 10, I think, in the game.
Yeah.
And then he's got pretty good offense scaling too, so it could have uses later. Like right now, the armor pen prawns, he actually hits phenomenally well.
Oh, really? Okay, I was going to say, doesn't the armor pen crons kind of nullify the need for high armor pen? But
well, so that's not how armor pen works, though, right? Because it's a percentage multiplier on your base amount.
Okay.
So it doesn't.
But there's only so much armor you can penetrate. I mean, once you've penetrated the armor, I mean, what really is there left to penetrate?
Yes, but
once
that's
you
not
have
the
penetrated,
point.
you have successfully penetrated, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. I mean, right? Like, what are you talking about here?
That's
Right,
not
exactly.
the point, though. Is that the base amount is what's getting multiplied, not your
I get you.
Not of the armor you're ignoring. So if you have, 400 base amount and you're
basically armor pen on
800.
Datacrons is like having a penis extension. What really matters is the size of your penis in the first place. If you're just adding 2 inches and you've only got 2 inches to work with, you've got 4 inches of penetration. If you already had a 7-inch schlong and you get an extra 7 inches, booyah, baby! You're not going to get laid very much. You're going to.
Can't argue with that.
You're going to be having the new nickname of Vlad the Impaler. Correct, sir.
Yeah.
2 inches?
There we go.
Much? I know, right? I know, right? I mean, sometimes you got to do some real hard cock math to, get your teeth stuck into it,
Oh, God, that's right. I should pull up Twitch and YouTube so I can see the chats.
Yeah, I mean, it's overrated, but yeah, you could do.
Overrated.
It is.
Who needs to see chat anyways?
Yeah, we're just gonna ignore them for the rest of the show. So I mean,
Right?
You're
Right?
not wrong. You're not wrong.
I mean,
we sometimes acknowledge chat. Just like
yeah,
every
that's
once in
true.
a while.
That's true. Sometimes we acknowledge chat. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes.
On occasion, you know.
When there's a good reason to pay attention to it, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
acknowledge.
When
I mean,
it's to our advantage. You shouldn't sink teeth into cock math. It's a bad idea. Well, Bodhi, I mean, sometimes a bit of teeth is okay.
I just wish the math was better, like easier to understand. Like you have to pull up the background data.
That's definitely the first thing that you need to be talking about when you're talking about cock math. Yeah, sometimes I wish it just made more sense. You know, it's hard to understand.
Because it's like veteran Chewbacca with 220% additional armor pen, right? Goes from like 400 something to 1160 armor pen.
Okay.
Where like veteran Han is only at 585 with the same amount of armor pen being granted to him. So veteran Chewbacca has over double the amount of armor pen.
Yeah,
but
I mean he is a Wookiee. I imagine.
Yeah, but at what point, like Wolf said, do you get to you've gone over all their armor?
You've achieved full penetration. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I wish that number was easier to quantify because armor is a representation of percentage, and you have to go through the game and do a lot of mathing to get the physical numbers.
Or you could just chuck on a Datacron and see how it works and call it good.
It sounds like not enough work.
Well, that's why you sort of didn't want to have only armor pen on the current cron sets. I mean, lots of armor pen is good, but at some point there is diminishing returns where you want some offense, some crit damage, something else that'll beneficial also.
Yeah. Well, and then the fact that like all the heavy hitters in the game right now, like a vast majority of them are special damage.
Hey, Dove took in the chat. How you doing, Adam? You all right, mate?
Armor pen does very little, but like the one that'll always catch you off guard is Boba Fett because his unique when his contract activates, it doubles his armor pen. And that gets really nutty with Datacrons. Boba's just like, let me just rocket you with 2 debuffs and kill you for 1 million damage. You're like, son of a.
I mean,
I'm a fire my laser.
That does not compare to yesterday's GAC where we managed to get Captain Tarples to have 52 million protection.
In defense of everybody involved, that was a gross misunderstanding on my behalf.
I mean, to be fair, we didn't know what the hell was going on.
No, it was honest to God though. Like we said, like we were talking about earlier, it would have been completely fine had I been able to ignore taunt like I thought I was able to.
Yeah, that's stinking protection up, not being there.
Yeah, well, because the only way I could have gotten it with that team comp was when Qui-Gon gets critically hit. And by the time Qui-Gon got anywhere near hit, Tarples had like 2 million damage of true damage come out of his face. It's like, well, it doesn't matter now. It would have been a simple case of swap one of the two, and if you just threw in like GMY just to pass protection up, then we would. I'm pretty confident we would have just destroyed the shield generator. It would have stopped all their protection ramping, and we'd have been fine. But yeah, this like 50 million protection is quite a bit of protection. Even if he wasn't hitting for 2.6 million damage when he attacks out of turn, I don't think we would have got through that much protection. No,
I would have timed out before we'd have killed that.
With the attack on a turn, you would have gotten the protection disruption, and that's how we got Jar Jar out, right? We got Jar Jar out that way, doing the same thing. So but
again, we needed the protection up for that, didn't we? I think for the protection disruption to trigger. No, is that right? I can't remember.
Maybe I don't remember now.
I think it's part of the level 6 clause, isn't it?
I honestly would have to go back and take a look.
Yeah, that sounds like way too much effort.
Well, I wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I'm.
But also, sidetrack. Welcome to Tribe Talks, everybody. We're Tribe Talking already.
Yeah.
We missed the intro because we're just so invested in talking about this game, Galaxy of Heroes, which is the only subject. Well, to be fair, we do Galaxy of Heroes and we do Cockmath. That's
Cockmath. Oh yes, of course.
Yep. Yeah. You know, the whole Hawk tour on that spin on that thing. You know, that's it's bleeding
how else
over
do you
into Tribe Talks.
Cockmath?
Exactly. Yeah. So today we are joined by, strangely enough, myself. I'm known as the Welshman. We have Wolfie. He's known as the Wolf, and we have Carthrick, who has a face, and he's known as the Wedge.
I
do have a face.
I didn't move the cover over.
I mean, sometimes you gotta take off the covers, baby. You know what I mean? Let people see that beautiful face.
Sometimes you gotta hut too and spit on that thing.
Spit on that thing. I could watch that on repeat. It's just.
Dude, the first day it came out, I was like, "Oh, that's interesting," and then like the next day, it's like every third reel I scroll through, it's some form of that being integrated into another reel.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Night Fox's meme of Tony Hawk Tour. Pro spitting. that was a brilliant mock-up. I enjoyed that one. So yeah. On today's episode of Tribe Talks, we've got a really jam-packed agenda, haven't we, guys? What did we decide we were going to talk about today? Stuff? Karth, why is there two of you?
I was about to ask, why is there a tiny Karth with next to the regular Karth?
That's little Karth. That's mini Karth.
I'm sitting here like, is that just me or no? Okay.
No. I think Karthrick is trying to do stuff and things right now.
I am. The quality of the camera is not where I'm enjoying it, so I'm trying to figure out why it seems so blurry to me.
You look very clear.
It's better
in
than
my
fucking
picture.
mine. Mine looks like shit right now. I don't know why my camera's like especially bad.
I don't know, Wolfie.
But
what camera are you using?
I don't know. It's not a good one.
Is it like a Logitech something or other?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's no bueno.
It's no bueno, but it's fine. It does the trick. We can see your face. That's what matters.
Allegedly.
Well, actually, yeah, we could actually be talking to a VTuber. Maybe Wolfie is actually a VTuber this whole time.
Oh my
that
God.
would make a lot more sense.
Fuck no.
Hell no. I ain't doing that VTubing stuff.
I can't stand that shit. No, the first time I saw that, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, this is, like, what? Okay, no, never mind. Sorry. Not a huge fan. Anyways, continue.
Not to ask questions.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes stuff happens.
Yeah.
So the
Either
big
have
news...
a camera or don't have a camera. The VTube thing needs to get fucked. Anyway, sorry.
Is that one of Yoda's lessons? Like, do or do not? It's like, do or do not have a camera. There is no VTuber.
Yes. Exactly. That's one. Exactly right, Scott. 100%.
I think we need that printed on a shirt. We'll sell it on the Tribe Talks Teespring website.
We'll sell literally dozens.
Literally one or two, and it will probably be to us in the chat.
Just
So the real big news in Galaxy of Heroes is, of course, that I was on vacation. And as such, all content stopped. Nothing happened except for the fact, like, the day before I came back, they released all the raid requirements and a new Lightspeed bundle and a new Assault Battle and stuff like this. And I was like, I'm on holiday, meathead. You literally spoke to me yesterday. And I said, you haven't released anything new yet, have you? And he's like, no, we haven't. I was like, and then he said, don't talk about work. You're on vacation. I was like, yeah, that's a good point. I should probably vacate. And then the next flipping day, he's like, look at all this stuff you could do. I was like, God damn it, meathead.
Well, in
it's
fairness,
almost like he knew.
It's like he knew.
The point and said, I'm on vacation, but I always check up on my hobbies because nothing about SWGoH's work. It's a delightful thing to play.
Well, playing the game or making the videos, or how much are we bullshitting over here?
All of it. All of it. It's a delight. It is he thoroughly enjoys with absolutely no repercussions.
It's like, yeah, SWGoH's not a job to me, meathead. It's an addiction. Okay, it's real. It's a deeply ingrained addiction. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, when you look at the screen time on your phone and you're like, I don't think I've even seen my wife that much. this week.
Oh my god, that's the one thing I'm terrified at staring at every time I launch the PC client. It keeps track of the hours.
Oh god, yeah.
I like how you said the hours. Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's the one thing I'm scared of seeing every time I open it. Like, you're scared of seeing your wife. Like, how? Well, okay, sorry, go on. But anyways,
I'll have it covering people's screens right now. But PC client hours 716 on the PC client. But in my defense, I just leave it on, like, all day, every day.
That's what I tell myself too, frequently. But I do catch myself going like, man, I have just stared at this for like an hour trying to figure out like certain things, and I'm like, oh, I just need to put it away.
Yeah, especially when you're around schools.
When it's on my phone, I can at least have to go through a lot more effort to figure out.
Yeah, you have to like unlock your phone, you have to boot up the game, and then you have to stare at your roster. On your PC, it's just there all the time.
I'm only at 272.
272 on the PC client.
Yeah.
But do you just leave your PC on all the time with the game?
I'll generally close the PC client out if I'm like playing something else. I don't like need to have it open.
That's the only time I close it is if I'm playing something else, and that just almost never happens. I'm like, I mean, I've got this one small segment of free time. Should I spend it playing games, or maybe should I go and see Mrs. Scribble for a bit?
Obviously, playing games.
Honestly, yeah, I've really got to get through that Temtem game.
The what?
I don't know. It's some Pokemon spin-off, I think. Spin-off? Rip-off? I don't know. I've
No
never
idea.
actually played it. I've got no interest in playing it. But I do have interest in playing Valheim. So, there is that. But there has actually been new stuff, which is actually really cool. We had all the raid characters announced.
Well, and that is a...
Valheim!
Not necessarily true either.
Sorry, I had to walk away for a second. I fucking blew my nose. I was playing some Valheim last night.
Nice.
I needed to get like crack it open again. I haven't been playing on the server obviously because I don't want to. Just,
I haven't booted it up yet. I was expecting to log in and see we've basically hit the space age and we've got spaceships and rockets and they had that in Valheim, I'm sure.
Just the opposite. We've hit the fishing age.
We are back to Bronze Age.
Yes.
We've come back.
We've reverted. Yep. Sorry. The motor came and was like, nope, actually go fuck yourself. She beat us, destroyed our whole village. We're just done for, so we gotta go fight the mountain again.
Damn.
Yeah, tough times.
Hot time.
But no, we're in the fishing age. We did a lot of fishing. Anyways.
We fish.
Yeah, Valheim is good shit. We gotta get back into that.
Yes, definitely.
Oh yes. That was the moral of that story.
So I was saying that we've had the characters announced for the new raid, and Karth says yes, but actually, what do you mean, Karth? Are you saying that there's supposed to be more characters announced for the raid?
No,
There might be.
Meathead made a very blatant comment where it's like, as you know, everything above is subject to change, and we will continue. We continue to be subject to change until said otherwise. But we just wanted to let you know what things were looking like and what we're testing. But there is still there is a chance that they add characters to make the balancing easier, and they might. But I don't think they'll take anything away. They just might add a couple more.
It feels to me at the moment like it's not bad selection of characters. There's obviously some bum notes, and they've obviously really trying to push stuff like Jedi Consular and Lumi, but a little bit okay with that with the Lightspeed bundle coming out. It feels very much like Galactic Republic and Jedi are stretched thin as hell. Because
it's the leaders that are the hard part. Like that's the issue, is that there's not really a good lead for the second
Jedi team. Yeah.
GR Jedi team.
That's kind of the thing. You only really need like 2 Jedi teams. Like it's not really gonna be all that crazy for what you actually need for that, because you got your Queen Amidala team, you got your Gungan team, you got your Separatist team, and then there's actually the question of, are Darth Maul and Darth Sidious going to do something with that over there? It's worded kind of weird.
I can't see us making 2 Separatist teams.
I'm saying it's worded kind of weird, but I don't actually know if Sidious's leader is going to be active when he's not in the lead slot. If Darth Maul is in the lead slot, the wording on that
has to be a separatist leader.
But it doesn't actually say that.
It does.
It's very, dude. It's so weird with the fucking wording on that. Like it's up to interpretation with how they word those. They need to they really need to word those better. It was depending on how you read that, it may or may not have been necessarily to have the Sith as separatists as a lead. It's a very strange wording over there. They need to clarify that, and would be really, really nice if they could do that. Where's the
Darth Sidious leaders applies to all. I think if Maul is the leader, I think it will still apply to the separatist allies in the squad.
Yeah,
but to the separatist allies in the squad, or to all allies in the squad, like it's not very clear how that's worded, and it's under a separatist heading. So
yeah, because it's a bonus to separatists. So it says it's active at max rank, applies to separatist allies as well if he's not in the leader slot. So one thing is he has to not be in the leader slot. Second part is it applies to all separatist allies. You don't need a separatist leader. I think it's any lead. You could go in with Queen Amidala.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Just real quick. So it says separatist lead, like separatist the heading, but in the second part of that paragraph, it just says whenever an enemy is defeated by a separatist or Sith ally. Whenever a Sith ally inflicts a debuff, they also deal that doesn't have anything to do with separatists. So why would that be under a separatist heading? It seems like they combined the Sith and the separatists and just called it the separatist heading, and it doesn't make any fucking. It has no actual meaning like what that heading is over there. So the Darth Sidious leader ability active.
I think they're two separate things. I don't think that if you've got a Maul lead,
it's unclear.
I think it's unclear. Yeah, I do think it's unclear, but I don't think Maul will get Sidious's leadership. But if there are separatist allies under Maul, they will get Sidious's leadership if they're also in the team. That's how I think that's going to work out.
It just says applies to separatist allies as well, because it already applies to Sith allies. And if he's not in the leader slot, does it mean Sith as well as separatist allies? Is there just a bracket over there that they just forgot they left out because it's implied that it would obviously apply to Sith allies? You know, it's really not clear how they fucking worded this thing.
It's kind of weird. It's
really not clear.
But I also just don't see any scenario where you just run a Maul lead. Like, it's...
unless he gets reworked.
What I'm saying...
unless he gets
something... If Darth Maul lead and Darth Sidious can actually two-man do some crazy work over there, depending on how the raid ends up working, there is a chance that they end up being a team.
For sure. 100%. That's a possibility, which is where a lot of people are thinking there's going to be additional raid Amis besides the Gungan one. For this reason, is that the dark side team is too short man to make sense. Like Stap is terrible with Newt lead, full stop, because his unique requires full separatist droids.
Only part of his unique, right?
Part of it, but the one that gives you a lot of bang for your buck requires that portion of his kit.
That of course can always be fixed. Well, real quick, that can always be fixed because they can always just say, oh, for this raid, Newt counts as a droid. Like JKL for this raid, he counts as a rebel.
But then
they can fuck with the tags.
Maybe they'll just change it to be it just has to be separatist and or Sidious and Maul to try and make it work.
That's a possibility. But then the separatist mechanics the later you get, especially in like the Relic 9 tier, they revive. Well, B1's a terrible separatist to take if your allies, if their separatists revive every time the first time they're defeated. So it's like there's a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Well, you just hope the B1 doesn't have to be revived because they'll stack up enough.
Well, yeah, but the AI likes to go poo-poo on B1 stacks pretty fast. So it would depend on how the AI treats the fight. If you could sustain it, it would be fine. But there's just
red AI is always different.
It feels like there's a lot of red herrings for the dark side team, and I'm just like, I am gonna hoard the mats, but I'm not putting a single relic upgrade on.
I'm not touching them at all.
A final.
Oh yeah, of course not.
Yeah,
because like the Gungans,
mine
maxing out
trash.
Yeah, maxing out Gungans is not not they're fairly decent.
Well, we say maxing out Gungans. Yeah, let's have a caveat over here
because we do need to talk about that, right?
The max for the raid is Relic 9, so that's
right. That's why we're. And
I don't mean as
over there.
hold on.
I'm not going Relic 9 Gungans.
No.
All right.
I'm not meaning that as not a problem to do. I'm saying that it's not a problem to if you wanted to max them out because they are going to be a useful squad in everywhere where they're applicable.
Yeah. Right now, the only if we touch on the R9 requirement one, we'll talk about a little bit about how they could make that reward system work afterwards. But the only team for me right now that I'm even half tempted to R9 for the raid is the Queen Amidala team, just because of the assault battle, and it's you already got like R8, R2, so
yeah, like that one's gonna be easy. Because I'm 3 out of 5 on the Queen Amidala team, and I'm 2 out of 5 on the Gungan team. Well, Queen Amidala
1 out of 5 on Gungans.
Queen Amidala, her
Relic 9
summons is based off of her. So
the whole aside we had over there was just that we wanted to make sure that we're talking about Relic 8, not Relic 9.
Yeah, Relic 9 is the max for the raid, and I'm just saying if you want to go down that route and get prepared for that tier, because if you're we'll touch on the new raid structure and the rewards a little bit later, but if you wanted to scratch the itch and use the materials as you're going, the Gungans are going to be a relatively shoe-in, safe, guaranteed team that's going to be, if you take them to Relic 9, you're likely going to get that max score. You're going to get it's not going to be a problem. The issues I see with like the QA team and basically everything else is like you can get the first 3 sorted pretty quick, but then 4 and 5 starts to get iffy. Like Queen Amidala R2D2 is kind of a shoe-in for the
I'd say so for the fourth.
But the 5th is kind of like, well, we don't really know yet. There's plenty of good options, but it's like how much do you want to commit to that and then be wrong?
There's also the question of what if there is no 5th? What if the 4 of them can get through it on their own?
Yeah,
that's Relic 9 with the bonuses, with the right modding and everything. I mean, again, we have like soloids, we have undersized, we have all sorts of stuff that can do good work over here. Well, so there's a chance.
You have 2 hero units in the same squad, so that gives you.
Right now, for me, the only thing that's tempted for me after having a short think about this, and this is likely going to change, is I'm tempted, half tempted, if it's going to be anyone for the Queen Amidala team, is to be Mace. Just because I'd quite like an R9
potentially.
Mace. That would be okay. Yeah, he's got shatter point, turn meter, call to assist, turn swap. I mean,
all of his max health bullshit. Yeah.
I know you don't need a tank. I know you don't need a tank for the Queen Amidala team, but I just feel like out of everybody else, I would kind of like to throw them under Lumi, if anybody. Potentially, like, I'm thinking about the rest of the Galactic Republic Jedi. Obviously, Lumi is going to be the main Jedi leader. You could try and make a Keller and Beck team, but Lumi wants, like, the way I'm looking at it, Lumi wants, like, all of these support and healers to go with... And Cam, right? So it's Lumi lead with Cam, and then support and healer types. So I'm thinking Shaq T and GMY and stuff like that.
And she wants Kit Fisto, too.
Why Kit Fisto?
Because there's a part where if they have a heal over time and potency up, and he's the only GR Jedi that grants potency up, and she's the only GR Jedi that grants heal over time, that they have counter chance.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe that's useful. More. It's the theory crafting part of it. Right now, it looks like she's going to want Kit Fisto to be on her team, and then Kiatamundi as well. And then the other 2 are going to be support characters. But like for me, the way I look at it is like the further I got down that rabbit hole, it's either like I totally leave Keller and Beck with nothing to play with, or I half-ass both teams.
Queen Amidala.
Yeah. Well, exactly. So it's like I'm really kind of hoping somewhere a short man team pops up to work with. Like the Jedi Consular lead, it pains me to think that that's something that they really wanted to push for.
Jedi Consular doesn't have a lead.
Yes, but
I know you're talking about the special thingy. I don't know if that's worth losing an entire leadership over there.
Well, but look at all the other leaderships available once Lumi gets taken. You don't have anything worth of value besides Keller and Beck. And Keller and Beck's leadership outside of his unique part that allows everybody to have that the
Padawan's lessons. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
There's not much.
There's always the chance GMY can do something. I mean, GMY lead used to be a thing for the old Sith raid.
Yeah,
maybe get some turn meter, get some tenacity up and stuff, right?
If there's tons of debuffing, then yes. Otherwise, I don't know how his lead brings anything meaningful.
I mean, that's like we said, if they're doing the debuffs and stuff, which I imagine they will be doing.
They'll probably do some. There's going to be target locks, obviously. There's going to be buff immunities.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's a chance that GMY lead could actually be somewhat useful in there. I was bringing that up when they announced this stuff, and I was like, hey, if they can make GMY something, I have the Zeta from the Sith raid. I mean, there's possible he could be useful, even if he's not a healer.
Low key, I'm thinking that Eth Koth ends up being the best, one of the better characters.
Just because he's the droid killer.
Well, he's a support that has bonuses versus droids that when he's tied with Cam, he's gonna be off the charts obnoxious. So I feel like Cam and Eth Koth are gonna kind of be comboed together as well. But if Lumi wants Cam, then that means Eth kind of needs to go that direction too. There is an argument, of course, for like Ayla Secura and GMY and Shakti and stuff like that. There are arguments for the other supports to go with it, but
Shakti is mostly a clone leader.
Yeah, she's mostly a clone lead, but the only problem that you do
Barriss maybe
with the
Barriss isn't on the list. I was really disappointed.
Oh, she's not on the list, right?
No. I thought she was first as well, but she's not. It made me very sad.
Because Lumi has.
I mean, it makes sense. She wouldn't even be part of the Jedi Order at that point.
So I think Shakti rotates back out to the other team. You take in Eth Koth and then maybe GMY under Lumi. But again, it's all speculation right now. There's a lot of little nuanced stuff that there's lots of power in different things. I'm a little annoyed with their tier structure right now because it seems like the Relic 8 tier is going to be the one where you just drag your face across the freaking grate, because it's like Tuskens. If they weren't R7, they weren't doing anything useful.
Oh, I see what you mean.
All the good bonuses for Separatist and GR come at the tier 7, the Relic 9 tier. And I'm like, so it's going to be a cakewalk at Relic 9, but you're going to struggle
it's
for
gonna
even like
suck at everything else.
Relic 8. Yeah, it's almost like
they did that with the crate raid.
Yeah, they did it with the crate raid.
Sort of thing.
But at least R7's a more tolerable investment level, and there was still, you could go to R8 if you wanted to, but this is like, it's gonna be R9 or bust, bitches.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's not really ideal, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I really, the only thing that's really turning me off against investing in the Separatists is that my overall relic levels invested in Separatists is pretty low. We're talking like R3s, R4s, and R5s, apart from GG, who's R7. Funnily enough, GG was my very first R7. When they introduced relic levels to the game, I took him to R7. He was my very first one, and he's stayed there ever since. Since we've had the introduction of relic levels, basically, and I haven't touched him since. So I'm like, I don't want to have to spend all of that flipping signal data getting those Separatists up to like R8, R9. I really don't want to R9 them. Like, I do not want an R9 Newt Gunray. Like, no.
Unless he gets a Lucre Hulk.
Yeah,
At least you already have him Relic 7.
I do have him at Relic 7, but like my Stap is R5, my B1 is R4, my B2 is R3, my Droidica is R3. Ooh. It's like, this is going to be painful, dude.
There's a lot where I'm just like, I'm pulling up the spreadsheet of what I need to have to get all 5 teams to R8, and then finishing off the Gungans and then the QA team. I'm going to probably run at R9. We were running. Slan and I were running math when it first came out, and if you want to hit max crate in your guild, you're going to probably need to do 2 runs at R9 and then 3 runs at R8. As your like way to hit that average that you're going to need in the guild. Yeah. Because I mean, like, there's no way you're going to get people to R9 25 characters if there isn't a massive influx in droid brains and gear to keep that access. That's
it. And I don't know, like, or if I don't know how they're going to properly incentivize this new tier of rewards, because the investment level to have to do it, to have 2 full teams of Relic 9, that I know you can invest in good, worthwhile characters, but that's still a hell of a lot of Relic 9s. That's 10 Relic 9 characters and then a bunch of Relic 8s. How are they going to incentivize this in this new tier reward? Because ultimately, if it's just more Mark III currency, which is probably what it'll be, like they've locked in the Mark I and Mark II currencies at the same stage from like the third reward crate for guilds. It caps out very quickly and then no increase, right? I don't like people aren't going to push for this new reward crate if you get like 9,500 Mark III. It's like nobody's going to care about that. Well,
I mean, Mark III is more better. So, but if you're
better,
at the point where you're investing in full Relic 9 teams just for the raid, then you're probably not all that concerned with like the Mark III math because you're probably spending some money on the shit anyways. So I mean, it's sort of a weird
trade-off that so many people are making was like basically is if you can do it, you don't need it, and if you can't do it, you don't need it.
Well, it's
a little bit.
Be this like 1% mark that's gonna be like just on the cusp of getting there, and they'll be worth it for them. But
that's such a small subsection of the player base. They need to incentivize it differently, which is why they need to do something like throw in, you get extra signal data, or you get extra whatever, or you get a character, or whatever.
If they added more stuff to the personal track,
they need to do what they've done with like the TB planets, though. Is like you just get that crate just gives you flat gear rewards or relic materials or whatever else, and like that's the incentive. Like, you get some more Mark III, but we're gonna make it better. But again, even at that point too, is that what does that really accomplish? And I mean that from the perspective of how many guilds can feasibly get there, because it's like the number of guilds getting max in the speeder bike raid, which we could all level now, is hands down just the easiest raid that they've pushed out for us to do. There's like less than 20 guilds, maybe 30 that are getting max in the speeder bike raid. And so it's like, how do you drive the top 100 guilds to want to push for tier 7? It's like there needs to be some form of additional raid rewards that makes R9 way more accessible.
Because realistically, for right now, I think Rick Aaron and chat put it pretty well. The benefit of bringing the team to R9 is you can overinvest in one team that is really fucking good, and then save some resources that you may not want to invest in as hard. So keep your separatists at Relic 5 and have your Queen Amidala team at Relic 9.
Yeah, sure.
Which is probably what I'm going for.
Even that's not a whole lot, though. That is something. That absolutely is something. That's about the best incentive we can come up with. That's not much. Like it's still expensive.
Provided the second best tier in this new raid reward is the same as our current reward tier.
It is.
I'm not put out by it. I'm not like, you ruined my raid. No, I'll be okay with it. I just have to see, like, I feel like if you're going to introduce a new tier of rewards, we should see that tier of rewards and be like, oh, wow, I want to get that. Not be bitching about R9 requirements, That's
so I'm wondering how they're going to approach the personal track. If they added something to the personal track where you could really get some benefit from yourself going and pushing those higher rewards, but it would need to be something really beneficial.
The personal track, though, to max out, you would need 5 R9 teams. That's the way the current one is set up with the speeder bike raid.
Well, if they added some more stuff in the personal track
along the way, I'm with you. If you're talking about maxing it out, though, maxing out the current one requires all 8 attempts at R8. You cannot.
I'll take your word for
runs.
Yeah,
because I am. Oh god, I do not have that many relegates.
I get somewhere in excess of about 500,000 points, somewhere beyond the max, which is 19.55 is the max personal track.
Yeah, I was going to say
I defer to your expertise there.
I hit about 500. Yeah, on the last raid I hit about 20, which is about 500,000 more. But that means that every single run I do has to average like 2.4, and then the layer run is 2.7. And so it's like you're not doing that without R8s across the board. So it's I wouldn't mind them doing more in the personal track if it comes in later, but the incentive there is almost worse because you have to just grind so many and there's like what maybe
Well, that's what the current
10 players in the
speeder
game
bike.
that can do this raid at all R9s already. Like,
Yeah.
reasonably, everybody else is 2 R9s roughly a month if they're spending in the game.
That's the other, of course, the thing. You're only doing this for the 9 months over here, however long the raid is going to last. So you better get that in early to make it really worth it getting over there. And then you can start doing some math.
And it's not just you; it's your entire guild. Like that's the part that really is kicking the crotch. We've had a lot of people.
Well, that's what I was saying. Personal track.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on what they put in the max crate reward too. If they put like a raid character or something like that inside of there, and then you get the most shards for that. That's like immediately like, hey, everybody, R9, like 8 to 10 characters, go.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's why until we actually see what's in this new reward structure, I'm going to be quite happy just having like one R9 team, and then just obviously we want to try and hit at least the second best rewards, so we're keeping on par with current rewards. But I'm not going to go crazy for it unless there's something really, really worthwhile. So I'm just like,
I feel like this is going to be a crate dragon raid all over again, where it's like second or third crate is way more than enough for the average guild. It's not like fantastic, but it's going to take you so long to recuperate the R9 investments that by the time the raid expires, even for most people to get the 2 teams up to R9, let alone all the R8s to go with it for the other runs.
Yeah.
You're going to be at such a deficit by the time the raid ends, and then
it's not going to pay for itself. I mean, I know we can make the argument of R9 will eventually help in TB and stuff like that, and you're going to be gaining benefits in other areas, but it's like that's a real
getting a bit abstract over there. Yeah,
definitely, man. So especially because if you look at like the Queen Amidala team, we're almost certainly going to be using R2-D2 in there, because that's the only team that really benefits from having a Galactic Republic and not a Galactic Republic Jedi, right? So R2 is almost a shoo-in. And you're not going to take R2-D2 away from Leia in TB or in TW. No. So it's like if you're R9ing him, that you still don't have a full R9 team for Princess Leia to take into TB and stuff like that. So it's a little bit like, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could work around it. But,
well, and that's why like Gungans, I feel like if you want to do it now, Gungans are the easiest one to prepare for R9. The only thing that I wouldn't do is put on the Omicron, which I mean technically isn't even available until the raid is ready to release anyway. So that's not really a problem for most people.
Yeah.
But the investment is okay, because the Gungans, especially with their TB Omicron, they can crush most of the game modes. They don't do fantastically without it on certain planets, depending on what the team comps are, of course. Anything with mass assist is going to screw you, because they just go. The generator is like the highest priority in the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it doesn't last very long.
Hold up, I don't know. I think. Well, maybe we need to test this. If we placed the scythe and the generator next to it, do you think the game will crash because they just have no fucking clue on what to attack? They're just like, no!
There's a shield generator in space where the scythe had landed on the ground, one of the two. But
just park the scythe next to the shield generator. Yeah. It's kind of like the like trading card games have got, like, whilst this card is in play, you can't attack these types of cards, and then you've got another card that you can't attack because of that card, and it has the same effect for the other card, and you're just there like, well, I can't hit anything. That's what the game would think in that situation. For context, listeners at home, this has got nothing to do with the card analogy I was making just now. The reason Karth and I are talking about like top-end rewards is because our guild does that, and it's spoken about in our Discord a lot around is it actually worthwhile doing this? We appreciate that. Rub it in, laugh it up, fuzzball. We appreciate that most guilds do not actually hit top end rewards. So when Karth says R9 Gungans is an easy thing, within context of where you are in the game, obviously
easy. Yeah, I gotta
that brand new team.
Because I don't mean it's easy. I just said it makes it's more or less in my head. It makes the most logical sense that if you were
it's a safe bet is what he means.
An R9 a team, it is the only place I would go.
I mean, how pissed would you be though if you got a full R9 Gungan team and you can't max score without the Omi? Like,
I mean,
I would be angry. I would be angry.
I would not. Well, I would actually almost be more upset the other way though. If it just took the R9 investment and then you could max score without the Omicron. Don't ask me why that makes sense in my head, but it just kind of does.
If you could go in with 4 Gungans and the Omi, and you can save R9ing one of the Gungans.
Yeah, but which one do you drop? You can't lose Boss Nash. You can't lose
Boomadir.
You can't lose Phalanx. Oh,
drop off Boomadir.
Boomadir actually does good damage, man.
He does.
They do really good damage. Like, it's surprising. Him and Tarpals, they're actually pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like once they get going, man. Oh jeez.
No, I'm with you. It's like
I don't know how they win. I don't know how they win with it because.
Well, I would. Well, yeah.
No,
I guess the best way for me to phrase that is I would be really upset with the R9.
Isn't Booma the one with the Omicron?
Yeah, the Booma is the one with the Omicron, so it's got to be Tarpals.
That's funny. So the one we were considering dropping is the one with the Omicron.
With the Omicron. But I mean, if you could 4-man at just R9 without
they knew.
But exactly.
I missed all of that.
Yes,
I missed every little bit of that.
We were just laughing our asses off because we're talking about dropping Boomadir off of the Gungan team, and he's the one with the fucking Omicron.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, so
drop Jar Jar. You don't need him, right?
In theory, would be Tarpals.
Oh man,
maybe.
Yeah, Phalanx is the GC Omi, isn't he?
Yeah,
definitely that.
So, but yeah, there's too many like what if situations that we don't like, and I'm actually wildly surprised they have absolutely 0 modifiers for Gungans in the raid right now. That part is the part where I'm just like my brain starts going like, I feel like that Omicron is going to become a big requirement because there's nothing making them better. Even hell, they're not even in the hero list. Well, Jar Jar isn't.
Jar Jar
is the only one.
Jar Jar is, yeah.
Jar Jar's in the hero list. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, well, cool. There's that.
But,
it's just him.
They also do have in their kits additional benefits against separatists. So
yeah.
There's
for
that
sure.
too. They are kind of already an anti-separatist faction, so maybe they just don't need that much additional.
I take it back. Gungans do have a small blurb on their thing. They gain 5 additional stacks of plasma shielding whenever the shield generator uses plasma pulse. Gungans gain a smattering of effects.
Yeah, it's a few things. Foresight, random bonus turn, plasma residue is definitely nice.
It's not bad.
It's a couple things.
It's a couple. I skipped over that. I go straight to reading the GR and the separatist stuff because
you're like, oh, that's interesting.
The Gungans, I figured.
Fuck the Gungans.
They're their own team. It's like there's no theory crafting required for Gungans.
No,
I pretty much had the same reaction. It was like, okay, Gungans are Gungans.
They do stuff.
Moving on. Yep, we're gonna run the Gungans as the Gungan team. Yep. Good job, guys. I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna take in a Jar Jar lead. Because he's a hero unit.
Interesting.
Hey man, if we're talking about consular lead, why not a Jar Jar lead?
Oh god.
Because he's not a healer.
Yeah.
Shut up, Koth. He could be a healer.
However, I just want to point out again, all the Gungans are super duper anti-separatist, but they're not Galactic Republic. So, anyways, fuck your logic.
Yeah, because God forbid they just say droid.
Well, they were pretty good against those droids.
They were way too broad of a topic. It's just 2 droids. Yeah, I get it. But I mean, there's a lot of things with this new raid where it's like I want to get into the nitty gritty of it, but there are so many things where it's just like, why even bother? Because
we need to wait for it to come out
until we know what the mechanics of the enemy are and how things interact. It's just going to be one of those things where it's like, man, I took all these R8s. Crap, we're actually not going to run that. You know, it's like the second we got the evasion mastery teams for the Endor raid, it's just like, so I need an Imperial Trooper, a Rebel, and maybe +1, and I'll get like 2,400 every time.
That maybe +1 is in my experience is a very heavily maybe. I'm just like, I very rarely run a 3.
Yeah, I find that when you're already at the R8s, having the third makes it a much more consistent run.
Mhm.
Because you have, depending on what your third comp is or whatever else is going on, you can bounce.
Out of my runs, only 2 of them are 3-man. So I use Stormtrooper with Gideon, Moff Gideon. So Moff Gideon, C-3PO, Stormtrooper, and I do a Han, Chewie, Rex team. Those are the only 3-man teams I do. The rest are 2Os and Leia Solo.
Why are you doing Han, Chewie, Rex?
On Chewie Rex? What?
Han, Chewie, Captain. Not Han, Chewie. CLS Chewie. Rex is what I mean. It's the sideswipe team.
Well,
yeah.
I normally just do Han inside the Han. Or you just do a Luke and Chewie on their own. Just do like basic.
Because I can get about an extra 100k. So
why not put Stormtrooper with that team and put the other guys with Moff Gideon?
Why would I put Stormtrooper in that team?
They don't gain evasion.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, there's no evasion in that squad. That's why it's a sideswipe team. It's I wouldn't use that team at all if I just had more Relic 8s, but I'm kind of done investing in speeder bike raid teams.
I just put JKL.
You got like the better
JKL
part
and
of
Chewie.
Like 5-6 weeks left of it, so it's like who cares?
Oh, like JKL, Chewie, Auto Basic, just the 2 of them on the Relic 8 tier can get like 1.7 something.
Yeah. Mine unfortunately are still Relic 7. So I'm playing on the tier below. Get good, Scruff.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, I know.
Why
but
is your
what are you doing? Like relicating your Gungans or something like that? Jeez,
exactly.
Gungans coming or something like that.
Master Qui-Gon and Padawan Obi-Wan and all these other newfangled douchebags. Yeah,
that's why your profundity counter sucks. You don't have Relic 8 pilots.
There we go.
I'm sure the Relic 8 Jedi Knight Luke is really going to help with that counter.
It
really is.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Han is Relic 8, Chewie's Relic 7. I don't think the extra relic level is going to make the difference between I get the assist?
The difference.
The imbalance of relic levels is causing your assists to fail. That's what's
there's imbalance in the Falcon.
Yeah.
It's the secret CG rates.
God damn it.
You're causing an imbalance in the Falcon, man. Come on.
Yeah. What's Ray's line? I disabled the capacitor or whatever the hell she says, which doesn't make any sense.
Whatever space
mumbo jumbo. Space techno.
Yeah, it was like we have like car sounding word plus spacey sounding word. Put them together, we get space mechanics. Yay!
Yeah.
Yes. Go with it.
Doesn't make sense, but it's fine because she smiles and saves the day. Yeah.
Influx capacitor.
Influx capacitor?
Yeah, I was just saying, just like a flux capacitor.
Isn't the flux capacitor the thing that's in the DeLorean? Yeah. Gotta take it to 88 miles an hour?
Yep.
Yes, I mean that's another like sciencey sounding word plus like other sciencey sounding word. Like, hey, it's the capacitor. What the fuck's all this stuff?
How many gigawatts of energy does it generate? And cuts a hole through time.
Yes, all those things.
Doc.
What the hell's a gigawatt?
Yeah, gosh.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's the thing in the stuff, and it makes us fly.
It makes us fly. And
there we go.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Space dust. That's what works.
Overall, in the raid stuff, it's all interesting things, but there's like no way to act on it right now. It's just like I have given all the information I wanted or been asking for, and now I'm just like,
now I need more info.
Do you have more?
Thank you kindly for this morsel. Now may I have some more? Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
Thank you for the few paragraphs. I now have an essay worth of questions about this.
You brought this upon yourself, CG. How dare you? But I'm sure it means that we are
Why
going
would
to
you
have
do
an
this?
Imminent release of the raid. So I say imminent. I say imminent. A month and a half, yeah.
5 weeks is what I'm anticipating.
A month until the road ahead.
I would it's about 3 weeks to the road ahead. Because I don't think it'll come till like almost mid-July. Just because of unless they release it like on a Tuesday.
Okay.
But I would suspect the road ahead comes out somewhere around the 10th.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Jar Jar event will go. The Jar Jar event will go live towards the end of the month, and then the new raid will like kick in. And then
no, sorry, just thinking of timings. I'm like, there's a weekend there that's my brother's weekend, and I have to go away for his birthday. So I'm like, I bet they'll release it on a Saturday when I'm away.
Of course
they will. It's like
I
they
mean,
plan these things.
We know for the most part that CG does not push out new events on a weekend.
No, they don't push out new IV. And to be fair, usually with their announcements and road aheads, it's usually on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's
So-
been
They
moving
can make
to like
exceptions.
more things on Mondays and Tuesdays.
they will
now.
for me,
Like,
I'm
we
sure.
get-
They're
we're
like,
getting
well,
a lot of kits on Tuesdays.
you know, CG's office is like, we hate to ask you guys to work on the weekend, but Scribe's away this weekend. So if we could work extra hard to get this information out while he's away and can't actually do any content on it, that'd be just swell. Thank you for understanding, everybody. And they'll push it out on Saturday, and I'll be like, God damn it, guys, why do you do this to me? But yeah, they'll be great. They'll be great.
That tracks.
Yeah. You know what else came out, though? There's new Lightspeed bundles. Well, Lightspeed bundle. I'm happy for it.
Bundle.
I'm very happy for it.
I love the
What speculation?
just
Isn't it just like,
the-
these are raid
the
characters?
value.
Here you go.
No,
Oh,
like the
people
value
saying
of
it's
it.
not, it's
Yeah.
not worth $20. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it is.
It's
I'll buy it in a
like,
heartbeat.
yeah, they're like, well, those characters aren't that good, and that's not that good. So like,
Really?
they
They aren't.
Yeah, they're all raid requirements. That's weird. Anyways,
Funny how that happened.
yeah, because like
Gee, what a coincidence.
I like outright said in earlier this week, I was like, okay, you tell me where you can get 500 Kyros for less than $20. Don't worry, I'll wait. Like I've got all day.
And it's that's without even looking at signal data and bronzium wearing some carbonite circuit boards.
It is literally $100 in Kyros.
The way I'd look at it is I'd look at that and I'm like, these are characters that otherwise I would never gear in Relic. I would much rather drop $20 to get 4, in my case, because I would get 4 Relic 5 characters out of it because I have Qui-Gon. I'd much rather drop $20 to get 4 Relic 5 characters than to actually go in and spend the gear, the signal data, taking those people to Relic 5. So
Now, what if I already have 4 out of the 5 at relics?
then you, sir, are unlucky.
Hold on. Is one of them not at gear 12 yet? Or, yeah.
ETH Koth is at level 69, gear 1. The rest are at relics.
So just with ETH Koth alone, it's worth $20. Like,
Oof. Wolfie's
Well,
like, but I
just
don't
for the-
wanna.
It's
It does-
just
it does-
for the...
just
I
for the
don't even know,
Kyro,
man.
the 100 Kyro costs $20 to get to take him up anyways. And
How
that's
much
not
Kyro
including-
do you have right now, Wolfie?
Oh, I have enough Kyros.
And then it's
I could
the,
probably gear them right now. It's just the gear 12 gear that would be an issue, potentially.
Yeah, the gear.
but-
Yeah, but the gear 12 gear, the two pieces
Just
on
some
the right,
signal data and
are gonna run
everything.
you- those are
Some more
5,600
relic
crystals
mats.
apiece, there's 10,000.
It's relic
10,000
mats and
crystals
signal
there.
data, but yeah, I already have Qui-Gon, obviously, because Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Lumi, because fucking sub-goals. Plo, because he's a pilot and is a badass and actually
I'm
makes it
so
like
happy
publicly
Plo's in
do
that
some
pack,
good
man.
work. Yeah, right?
Blow.
And then Kit Fisto, because he had a Kron, and I was like, fuck it, I want Kit Fisto now, I'm doing it. But yeah, Plo, huge. Anybody who doesn't have Plo, get it.
Oh,
Dude's a
God,
badass.
I'm so happy for it. I'm so very, very happy. I'll be honest. Because I lucked out. These were a bunch of... Like, I have Plo at gear 11. But, that's basically no gear. So,
But I mean,
I'm
the
very
sh- the
happy for
sh-
this pack.
The short math on it says that even taking one character up, if you look at the crystal value of those pieces
Mm.
versus the price tag on the pack, it's like easily a vault plus worth of crystals just to do the one.
That's huge.
So it's like you can't argue with it. It's like it's
I understand the perspective, though, because when you look at
Yeah.
something like, the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren Lightspeed bundle, that was $9.99. You look at the Resistance one, that was $9.99, and you get like more characters at Relic 5 and arguably better characters overall. It's like, oh, now we're paying twice as much for half as many. I understand that perspective, but in the context of value within the game, it is very good value. Obviously,
that's the part that
That's the question.
I understood that portion of it. Was like, yeah, of course, it's you compare one to the other, it's not the same value for sure. But I think CG is just like all over the road on what people are gonna be willing to spend. But I think the reason why this one's even priced where it's at is because they're all raid characters. If they were not, it would have been a $10 pack.
Yeah. I mean, it comes as no surprise, really, that this Lightspeed bundle came at the same time as the raid character announcements. You know.
Yeah, of course.
If it came out before and only lasted as long as, you know, and it expired before they announced the raid characters, I'm sure it wouldn't sell half as much. I would still buy it, probably, because I'm like, that's a bunch of characters I'm never going to gear naturally. Let's spend $20. But
well, yeah, that's the thing too. Is like getting Plo the pilot up to R5 for basically $20 in its own right is lots of value. And then depending where you're at in the rest of your game, like Lumi's kind of going to be kind of trashed here, but Qui-Gon is a solid GAC Omicron.
Yeah.
And you know, Eth Koth, a bit trash-tastic, but there's just so much that like we don't know about how the raid's going to interact with.
I mean, I'm just peeved that we didn't get Jedi Consular and I'm a Gundai as well. I think they missed out too.
Yeah, where's I'm a Gundai? He's not even on a fucking raid requirement. What the hell?
Yeah, well, because in theory,
trashy Jedi.
If they want to keep it thematic, I'm a Gundai did not make his first appearance until the Clone Wars series, where Eth Koth is in episode 1.
And what about Keller and Beck?
What about why is he not in that pack?
I don't have an answer for that one. That one. Well, that's obvious. Without an answer for that.
Was Ayla in the chambers or anything? I don't even remember.
Oh God, no!
I don't recall.
I have to go back through and check.
I remember now. Yeah.
There are. I think in Phantom Menace she's in one of the hallway scenes. But
I'm just being
I
an
don't
asshole.
think she's in the.
I wasn't actually expecting to like challenge.
I'm just like. The CG has tried to remain as thematic as possible. I feel like Keller and Beck was honestly a gimme.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Gideon was obviously on Endor because the shore troopers and the range troopers were obviously on Endor. Like,
they were on vacation at the time, Wolf.
Yeah.
They were
they were tired of the beach and they wanted some woodland, so they migrated for a quick change of
gosh, Wolf, they're all the same trooper. They just have different costumes, please.
People in the forests like to vacation at the beach in Scarif, and you know, the soldiers on Scarif like to go to the forest of Endor. Moon.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. That's why they were there. They were just on they were on paid annual leave.
They were refugees from the Death Star being blown up the first time.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
So there we have it.
Hey, whatever you gotta do to claim asylum. Yeah, actually, what?
But
well, I feel with this raid they're trying to be more thematic. I wouldn't say in the last one that they were, and even with the Cary Dragon raid, of course, it was a way more.
Oh yeah,
it was somewhat
Jabba fighting a
thematic,
crate raid, a crate dragon, that happened, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Totally.
I think it did. It could have happened.
Naturally.
Jawas taking on crate dragon? Did Jawas actually take on a crate dragon? I don't think so. I imagine they just go SWGoH and drive the sandcrawler away.
They were there during the
Were they there?
They took the crate. No,
it was them and the Tuscans.
Yeah, but didn't they take the Tuscans took the Pearl?
Yeah, the Tuscans.
And then the Jawas, didn't they come take like the eggs or something like that? I don't remember.
No, that was all the Tuscans.
Oh.
The Tuscans were like, "We got an egg, guys!"
Yeah, I don't remember. I gotta go back and rewatch it now. I'm so far back on the thought process of that.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a while, to be fair.
Me neither. I mean, the real pity, the real tragedy of Crate Dragon the Raid was that they didn't give us a raid reward of Cobb Vanth. That was the real pity. Yeah,
I was waiting to say none of space witches. Sorry.
Needed more space lesbian witches.
Needed more space lesbian witches. What? Yep, exactly. 100%. Yeah, where the fuck was Cobb Vanth? Seriously, Cobb Vanth was the hero.
Where is he?
Yes.
Still, where's Cobb Vanth? Damn it. Give me Cobb Vanth.
Where the fuck is Cobb Vanth? I really want Cobb Vanth to God, though, game.
The Boba Fett Jango team needs so much help. So much help. Like I don't know where their head was at designing that team, But all they have done since the initial iteration of Psionic Jango is just keep stealing team members.
Yeah,
It's all
just
they've
keep
done.
taking them. Just like, yeah. Bam? No, absolutely not. You can't have him.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Most of the time, if you don't have the TW Omni, you just basically don't use him.
Yeah. I mean, he has limited use in 3s for the sake of he has the he's used for like cleanups or some other odds and ends. But
He's
that's
good.
it.
Well, he was
He's
pretty
good
good with AdRad.
Yeah.
Or taking down AdRad, stuff like that. But like I said, in TW, he's pretty good. I use him all the time. You know, he's still mainly taking out Lord Vader's, but he's still pretty solid. That leadership is not a bad one.
No.
I regret the second Omicron, but the first Omicron was good.
Yeah.
What? You don't have all 3? Come on, Wolfie, get it together.
God, no.
You guys have
God,
TW Omnis?
No.
Shut up! You have them too. Get out of here.
Scribe was like, I'm catching up, damn it.
That's true. I have 10 out of 18 of the required TW Omnis.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm getting there. I just put on Staps on me. I put on Staps on me because I was like, God damn it, I need to actually put an Omni on this douchebag.
You know what kills me? Is I swear to God right now, if you had the Stap Omni, people don't put Leia down. And like that was the whole point for putting the Omni on in the first place.
Oh, right, okay.
Like, oh, you guys all suck.
Yeah. It was good times. Funny. But yeah, it's just like going back to Boba Fett Signer Jango. The funny things is like Fennec. Fennec is great. Fennec is so much better than Signer Jango, and even she gets
just like in the show.
I use her, just like in the show. I use her leadership more than I use Signer Jango's leadership. Like now that Datacron is gone, we are in an era where Fennec can beat Lord Vader again. I don't need her to, but she can do it, which is great.
Yeah, depends on the comp and the cron.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's always been
As
the
always.
case.
Mm-hmm.
She'll go back to beating him in 3s more than likely unless you're willing.
Yeah, I already did it.
drop.
I did it in the last week of last season of 3s.
Yeah,
It was because they didn't set Maul with their Lord Vader, and I was like, all right, thank you.
Oh, okay, thanks, guy. Appreciate you.
Thanks, buddy. And it was glorious to watch Fennec kick Vader in the nuts and defeat him once again. It was like it's like old times again.
It's quite satisfying.
It is quite satisfying. Yeah. But more to the point, we demand Cobb Vanth.
Yes.
Just because he's
Give us Cobb Vanth.
I want more than Cobb Vanth, though. To be honest, like I want like 3.
I didn't
like,
say
2 other
just Cobb
characters.
Vanth.
Yeah, I want 2 other characters to go with Cobb Vanth just for that because I don't want to put IG and Quill on that team. Like I'd rather put them so many other places. And
That sounds like a you problem, though, Carl.
Well, I mean,
It's
where are you like putting them now? Because Bam is obviously not hanging out with them.
Honest to God, if I can make it work with Dash, I will. But right now, they sit on the bench like 99% of the time because scoundrels don't have enough viability in the current.
Damn it! You said you don't want to like. You have so many other places for them. Like use them somewhere else. So use them with them. That's great.
I do use them with them, but the longer the bow team is in play, Bam ends up being a worse. He ends up being a worse fifth for the team than just doing armor and OG bow.
Really? You're not a fan of Bam in the team?
No, Bam is a lot. There's like right now the only reason I'm going to run Bam with a team is to take Bo versus the Revacron because
These birds actually do stuff.
The DIs.
Oh, the DI is super handy there.
Yeah.
Oh, the DI is nice.
Because they have an unhealthy obsession with IG-12. So it's like the DI really helps with that part
It's
of it.
because they really want the baby.
Yes, they do.
Oh.
They're reliving
like the
some
baby.
Clone War era days where they were hunting children.
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah,
and he's force sensitive, damn it. He's the only
Yes.
force sensitive on that team.
So there's a lot of things where it's like I like it, it's cool, but the majority of the time you do not need him present with the team to be able to fight the same stuff. So
Yeah.
then you can still run like a Bam like you can run Bam, IG-11, and Queel and Dash on a team and do Whistling Bird stuff. But
I'll be honest, I usually take Bam in with my Bo-Katan Mandalore.
The birds actually do stuff under Bo. It's really satisfying.
They do.
He does like extra true damage and everything. It's really, really like, okay, yeah.
And all that true damage is like
again.
ancestral resolve stuff just goes.
Yeah.
Rip.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I like Bam more under Bo.
I guess my issue is that the majority of the time when it comes to that is Bam's whole reason for sitting there is to be the DI and the protector to a degree.
Yeah.
Or to do damage with birds. Because it does damage.
But you can't put him in Whistling Bird stance if you haven't triggered all your DIs yet. Like you need him open for that bonus.
It's a risk. It's a risk.
Yeah.
He only has 2 like DI over to
he has 3 triggers.
Himself and then the other
and OG Bo.
Yeah, that's
Ogbo.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna call it from now. It's Ogbo.
Fine. I usually open up with the birds and just like go and smash them shit. I mean, obviously it depends on what you're facing, but
yeah,
it's a really good bird.
Yeah.
And provided you've modded it in a decent enough way to get all the birds very quickly and stuff like that.
Yeah, you gotta have the turn order proper so that he pops the bird stands right before she does the AoE, and then you go cycle around.
I feel like
if you have the Omicron, obviously it's extra bonus, but I don't have the Omicron. But
yeah, I feel like it's once her cron dropped, the team comp got a little bit more interesting because
it's not just her and IG-12.
Yeah, with her cron, she didn't need any help. It was just like, I'm Bo, and I just kill things. She didn't even need it all the time. Like
my name's Bo, and your whole team's dead.
I took her in the 3v3. Actually, you could do it in 5v5 too. Bo versus Lord Vader solo. It's just like, okay, cool. Somebody didn't put Maul on the team, and it was like, okay, I'm just gonna delete everybody, and there's 1v1 Lord Vader to the end.
It's
amazing.
Such a satisfying thing. And I remember having people in chat who obviously just didn't know what the Bocron did, and you'd start doing it, and they go, "What the hell just happened?" It's like, oh, it's Bo. She's a good unit, yeah.
It's
totally balanced, guys. Totally balanced.
Spend a certain amount of money, and CG just unlocks hidden perks in your characters.
The
more you whale, the more you know.
It's a staged reward system for every I don't know every decimal place you move that figure, the better the reward becomes. So it's like you start off at $0, you get shit. You spend $1, you still get shit. You spend $10, you get shit. You spend $100. You've got a vault, congratulations. You go up to $1,000, and then sometimes they'll slide into your DMs. And then, the further it up goes... I mean, Karth, you hit that 6-figure point now, so what perks have you got on your account now?
Oh, can't talk about it.
Oh, he gets over-the-trouser handies.
Yes. One of the perks.
It's from himself, but he says it's from CG.
I mean, I put on a glove that says CG.
They sent you a glove that says Capital Games. It's got a picture of Tuscan Meathead on it, and you're like,
and
Meathead.
Velvet, nice and soft.
Oh my god, good times, good times.
Complaints.
How about that new Energy Ascension packs that they brought out? Those are pretty sweet. Did y'all indulge?
Yeah, I did do that just because the bonus drops on the Cantina node right now was like it almost made too much sense to why would you pass up on 1,000 Cantina energy?
That was my stance for it as well. I mean, that and the fact that you can get like 15 Zeta mats and 6 Omicron materials for $10. I was just like,
that was huge.
Okay. Yup, get in my
bad.
belly.
Tell me less.
yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Stop selling. You've already sold.
Yeah. I'm already wet. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it was a good time. And I'll be honest, I didn't fully engage in the mod one. I'm sure that I'll probably get burned for that. But I was just like, I saw that last tier, and I was like, I want that 1,000 mod energy, but I don't want it that badly. I'm like,
Don't want $5,
it's worth the $5. It is, but I just didn't want to spend it. I was like, no. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's totally worth it. It is totally worth it. I just don't want to do it. So, yeah. But I hope they do more packs like that in future. In fact, for the energy one with the Zetas and the Omicron, I want them to let me buy that every day. I'll be like, yes, I will buy that entire pack every single day if you let me.
No, you won't.
And that's how Scribe got evicted. What?
And that's how I've lost all the respect of my viewership. No. It's just I need a lot of Omnis right now, and signal data. Yes, please. So...
There's no way you would be spending $100 or $10 a day for like a month. Like you would be way outside your normal comfort zone on purchases.
That is, if it like once a week, maybe it would be okay.
Yeah, if it came back like the Relic Cargo Pack does, like once a week, then I could be more on top of it with that kind of thing. And then if it runs every week and allows you to have a week to purchase it, and I think you get a lot more people interested in it because it's going to be a massive influx. But I think the energy one is almost too good.
I think it is as well.
To be that frequent. So I would, if they're gonna return periodically, I would say they'd be like a once a month rotation. They would come back like at the beginning of every GAC season.
Yeah, but they might also mix it up. They we might get something back where it's it's not Cantina energy, or there's no Zeta mats, or maybe it's got Kyro tech instead, or maybe it's got mod slicing mats, or
it'd be a similar deal, but like just different enough so we get fucked.
Different, but same.
But if that Zeta, if there's not an Omicron's in it, I ain't touching it because it's like, on either account, it's like it's just not worth it then.
Be like Omicrons. You know what else is cool and starts with an O? Omegas.
Yeah, so you get shards of Omega and also Omega materials.
There we go.
Yes.
Done.
That's it.
Karth, are you buying?
Am I buying? I've already bought.
For Omegas?
I mean,
pre-purchase.
I mean,
for Omegas?
I should purchase it just to go alongside my R9 Omega. I mean, she needs her Omni still, so chuck the Omnis at me as well, bruh. Although my next one has to be a TW one, so it's kind of stupid.
Yeah, there is that.
But there we go.
Yeah.
I might put it.
Sorry if that wasn't clear. I was trying to say like they were going to fuck us by like changing the pack so it's not Omicrons and getting Omegas instead. Like I hope you don't notice sort of thing. Then would you still buy it, Karth?
No.
Wait
a
minute.
That was the point of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't eat yellow Omicrons because those are Omegas.
Those are. My account has my main account has no use for Zetas. Period.
Okay. There we go.
The alternate account.
There's that big dick swinging. It's like I don't need no Zetas.
I need to quit. What I gotta quit doing is the habit of spending my fleet arena currency now. I need to quit spending it and start hoarding it.
For
what?
Just to buy shards and stuff like that.
Oh, shards.
Shards up currency just to have it. Because you don't need
Zetas.
Casually have 409 Zeta mats.
Jesus Christ. And every Zeta in the game.
Every Zeta equipped. Like I don't need to incur them any faster.
You have enough for like 3 GLs.
Because each GL, that would be 360. Yeah. And then some more.
Well,
I mean, I'm sure there'll be new characters that need Zetas to go on that team. So.
That is the real reason. Now. Yeah. And that is the real reason that they didn't add Zetas to the guild gifting thing and only purchasable packs. Because somebody like Karth could just go, hey, Scribe, here's 200 Zetas. Cool.
Can they do that? Please?
And that's why they didn't do that.
Listen, I will give you a 4-to-1 conversion on Zeta mats to arrow magnifiers.
Well, the thing is, Karth, is there's this new raid coming out, and I think I'm going to need them. Like, I don't have that many anymore.
Droid brains? You want to use some droid brains?
Hold up. I've got 238 droid brains. No, arrow magnifiers. I have 198 droid brains.
I have 8 droid brains.
8. That's not going to take you very far, bro.
No.
Maybe you should R9, Master Qui-Gon and Padawan Obi-Wan ready for the new assault battle.
It's already
I got them at Relic 8.
I know. I'm halfway there.
Are you taking them both up?
Yeah.
Oh, you crazy bastards!
I'm doing it. I'm just like I don't care. I'm just gonna do it.
So we think there is actually a chance that they would actually refresh the rewards every day. It says it's running for 7 days.
I think they're going to.
Do we think there's actually a chance?
Yeah, I think they're going to.
So much rewards though.
But I think the reason
it's a fuckload of rewards.
No, the reason is because
I hope so.
Padawan Obi and Master Qui-Gon are not farmable yet. If that event runs for the week and they don't put Obi-Wan out as farmable during that week, the only way to get these guys ready for the raid without farming is refreshing, and you're guaranteed like a decent amount of shards with your refreshes. So it's like, I honest to God think they're going to run it the whole week, refresh it every 24 hours, and then just go, hey, keep spending crystals.
I mean,
because otherwise I don't
tempt me.
Yeah, I don't see people changing it. And I had a little chat with Meathead because I was a little butthurt on Wednesday when they didn't push the update out because I knew that they
you were upset about defensive Dathomir, weren't you?
No, well, that too, but
you're like, why can't I kill GG? Damn it! Again.
Oh, I could. I got the rewards already. I got my zetas. But no, it's one of those perks you unlock from spending a certain amount.
Yeah. That's the six-figure perk.
You can kill unkillable units.
Yeah, the dev just logs into your account mid-battle and then just clicks delete, you progress.
You've got like direct hotline to devs in the games. When you're in battle, you can literally just press a button, and you've got Tuscan Meathead who just sits there in a God mode account, and he's like, "Sorry, what do you? Oh, you want me to just delete this? Yeah, absolutely, Mr. Carth. Absolutely, I may handle that for you, sir. How's your day going today?"
Earlier in the stream, we had Carth with a little picture like Carth and Carth over here, like the second Carth. That's the SWGoH dev over there. That's where they normally have his camera. He accidentally activated that while he was going around. So we got a little sneak peek into how it works over there.
Yeah, that's how it goes. How it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the update didn't go live soon enough to put Qui-Gon into the weekly shipments, which he should have been in this week. So for me to have, but then they announced the assault battle, and I was like, you guys suck, because now there's no way for me to shipment farm him in time for the event to go live.
Yeah.
So I had to dip in on the alt and get the packs. I did not. I was not happy about. Was not happy about it.
Yeah. And did he just send you a refund or?
No.
He just put a vault's worth of crystals in your account. You're like, okay.
No. But
so rude.
But you know, we'll make it up at the whale meet and greet at CG headquarters.
Of course.
July, so.
Yeah. Exactly.
Naturally.
Yeah. I'm gonna hide in Carthrick's backpack. I'm just gonna be in there. I'm like, surprise!
Get a plane ticket to LA first.
Can you send over a backpack on a return journey? I'll just hop inside that mother.
You have my check bag. Don't scan it.
Your hold luggage is rather large, Carthrick. It's like, you know.
They need to be a solid one too, because otherwise you're gonna get squashed.
Yeah, I'll probably die in that trip. That's
probably just be cheaper to get you your own plane ticket.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, probably. I would definitely be more comfortable.
I'll tell you one thing though. With this new assault battle tier, while it feels a little greedy with the super high relic requirements to access the highest tier, the victory counts are not shared. So huge, right?
Yeah.
Out the gate,
which is great. But I mean, all assault battles are like that.
Yeah, all of them are. But I thought that they might be like.
When I first saw it, I genuinely thought there's no way they let us get each tier of this reward. I thought it was going to be locked in. It was going to be you get to choose one. Because the rewards are too good.
Honest to God though, like the entire event rewards like almost 10 million credits. Like if this thing's on a once a month rotation, like this is gonna be like every end game account's paradise. Like they're just gonna enjoy that event coming back, even if we can't sim it. Be like,
well, okay, you can normally sim assault battles. So.
Yeah, it's assault battle. So.
Normally, yes.
Normally,
but that is the keywords.
No, this is not your average assault battle. So there's so many different changes here, but I'm psyched, man. I'm really hopeful. I hope it does run for a week, and I can just get free refreshes.
Right.
Oh my god! Get like just the Gerda keypads and the signal data. Oh my god, so much signal data.
That's my only reason I'm a little upset about it is the fact that it's not a guaranteed one of them.
Yeah. I'm still confused about that.
I mean,
because it's not clear to me when they said they said possible additional drops. You'll get one of the following. It's still not clear to me if you definitely get at least one of them, or if it's like you might make like you know, like the Queen Armor, the Princess Leia one. Like, is it going to be a case of you might potentially get these drops, or you might get nothing but the guaranteed drop, you know? So I want to know if you definitely get one of the random choices.
Well, it says additional possible drops is one of the following relic mats. My brain would say that it's going to guarantee you one of those.
I hope so.
But, I mean, either way, I mean, let's see, it's 5, 10, 15, 17, 19, 21. Yeah. So the event itself, if this refreshes every day, you'll get 21 million credits a day.
Oh, that's so sexy.
And
that's
you can refresh
so
it. You can refresh every tier. I know. It's like it seems too good to be true. Like
hearing it just like say that it's like
no
way it's gonna refresh.
But then why run it for 7 days? That's the part that boggles my head.
Oh,
I'm with you. Why let us go 7 days if it's only going to be able to get once?
Yeah, I'm with you. I had the same reaction. I was like an assault battle. Like they refresh every day. Whenever they do like multi-day assault battles, they refresh every day.
They do.
Yep.
So I mean, now did they? I'm trying to remember when they released.
Maybe it's just because it's the introduction. Maybe in future it's just going to be a one-day event.
Well, I was going to say when they introduced the Inquisitor one, was that a full week? I don't remember.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't, but I swear they ran it like 2 or 3 times very quickly.
It came back like almost every like 10 days for the first like 3 or 4 events.
Okay.
Just to get everybody in with it, and then it ran because I think that came out close to when they did the. I want to say it came out close to when they did the TB announcement. And so it ran twice during the week after Christmas. It ran like Christmas Day and then like New Year's Day.
Yeah, I don't remember.
If I remember correctly.
They always run all of the assault battles at Christmas time, though, don't they? You literally there's like a day where all of them are active.
Yeah, they run every assault battle for 2 days, so you basically get 14 days of assault battles.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, which is fantastic. Like that's the best time to be playing the game. Like just like log in and sim for days.
Like sim all of them, and now I can sim all of them thanks to that Night Sister Lightspeed bundle.
Yeah,
I knew I was. I knew I was.
High tier.
Of course, Karth. What do you take me for? Do you take me for some sort of scrub lord, or you take me for Lord Scribble, master of assault battles?
Do you want me to hurt your feelings?
Yes.
Do we have to answer that, or
do you want to cry?
Yeah. But
would you prefer a lie or the truth?
Yeah.
It depends. Which one will hurt more? Actually, don't tell me the answer. Just say it. Don't tell me if it's right.
The only thing that I want to know when they. That's interesting. So tier 3, the rewards are all of the following slicing materials. That's nuts.
You get so much slicing materials and all the credits to spend it on. Oh, so good.
Tier 4, when you get the single data and the first half of the thing, you get one of the relic mats and one of the single datas. And then same for tier 5, you get one of the higher end relic materials and one of the single set datas, and then the tier 9 is just one of either the Gerda or the droid brains.
Yeah.
So that's my assumption would be that it's guaranteed that you get one of them.
That was my first assumption, but
the pool
I'm just in disbelief because I look at it and I just think these rewards are way too flipping good for CG rewards.
Well, the thing is, though, is that like look at the lockout on most of them: R9, R7, R5. Like
hard requirements, but you know, I'm a massive
these are the
whale
2
now.
newest marquees.
So,
yeah.
They're not farmable yet, and 7-star like Relic 5 will probably be the one where most people get to. Relic 7's going to be fairly common as well, but the Relic 9 one, man, like that's going to be a handful of players.
I'll be a handful of players.
The top few thousand players in the game are going to push it all the way that way, and then everybody else is going to go, meh.
Hey man, like if we are getting if we are actually getting 7 days of this event, I'm so happy to R9
and I am refreshing every day too. If we get 7 days of refresh and refresh,
those are going to be the cheapest Gerda keypads or Zimbiddles, is it?
No, droid
No,
brains.
droid
Gert
brains.
isn't
Oh
droid
my!
brains, yeah.
I bet you're probably more like, give me the droid brains.
Oh
not the
yeah, no,
girders."
exactly. I'll take either, but I want to have I have to start stockpiling for
Raid?
the upcoming raid. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's probably the only one I'm gonna refresh because the other ones there's just too much spread.
Mhm.
Tier 5, it's possible because I just need all of the things that are there anyways, but the seal data I don't really want, and so it's like for the cost for 1,000 crystals to get 8 Zimbalal cards, like that's a pretty expensive trade.
Yeah.
So it's like, I probably will only refresh the last one, but the relic material, not the relic, the slicing material one, that's one golden. Almost,
yeah,
that seems like a guaranteed refresh no matter what, because that's so good. Like all of that is so good.
Yeah. I can't wait. I like it. I'm always happy when they bring out new assault battles, because usually the rewards, I mean, even the normal rewards are pretty damn good for assault battles. Yeah. But like once you've 3-starred those events, it's just like, it's free mats, free top end mats that you just go in 2 seconds, give me all the juicy rewards, move on with your life. It's great. Like I'll take the signal data, I'll take the zetas, I'll take all of this juicy business. And now they've given this one, which has got more of what I want, which is like signal data and relic materials and mod slicing stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah, baby. Give it to me.
They have listened and said, yes, give me your relic 9s and we'll give you more stuff.
Yeah. You know, if you relic 9 these characters, we'll give you stuff that'll help you relic 9 characters. How about that? It takes a while for that investment to pay off, but
eventually it does.
I mean, what other relic 9s get you access to relic 9s? You know? And they get used in the new raid. And it's a good team. And you can use them in TB and TW. So, it's a win-win-win.
And it's fucking Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Jeez. Like, do you really need incentive to relic 9 these guys?
I mean,
come on.
True. They could have gone with some more iconic Jedi that exist in the Star Wars universe. Not these niche characters.
Yeah, jeez. Who even knows them? Is it Qui-Gon? Is that how you pronounce it?
Qui-Gon
I'm
John.
not sure if I really heard.
Qui-Gon John.
Yeah, Qui-Gon John, yes. Qui-Gon John, yes.
Yeah. And what kind of a stupid name is Padawobi-Wan?
Yeah. It's like gibberish. God.
What did we tagged him as Obi-Wan Kenobi, didn't we? Because of the Conquest.
Padawobi-Wan.
Padawobi-Wan. I know, Padawobi-Wan has been let loose.
Oh, it's so bad. Please don't apply that goddamn Omicron.
I know several people that have already. They're just like, Conquest.
It was really funny over the last week or two. Everyone going, oh, so what do we use for this feat? You can use this character, this character, this character. Oh, actually, .gg says you can use Padawan Obi-Wan. It takes the Omicron, dumbass. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Don't use Padawan Obi-Wan.
Every time...
Oh, it looks like Padawan Obi-Wan does this. Huh, that's crazy. No, he doesn't.
Every single time somebody's going to be searching on SWGoH, they're going to see him there and they'll be like, why is he usable for all of these feats? And you're like, oh, for God's sake.
That's never going to go away. That's never going to go away, too. That's going to be an indefinite part of the game. You're going to get questions on every single conquest you do from never. Why don't you just use... And
I will have that in my comments. The beauty of me going away after I blitzed through this conquest to basically Redbox in 2 days before going away on holiday and pushed out all those videos. The reason I've ignored all the comments is I'm sure that there's some douchebag in there who's like, you should just take in Padawobi-Wan with his Omicron and GMY and you get this feat done in no time flat.
Hey, it's okay to say that douchebag was me.
You haven't got that conquest on me now, Kath, have you?
No, I don't. I'm not going.
I'm a douchebag, but I'm not that douchebag. Yeah,
I have my limits.
I'll call you out on it, but I don't practice what I preach. So
when are we going to get an assault battle on me? And is it going to be on Dakar or something?
It is on their list of remember
they said they want to have an Omi for every game mode. So I can't wait for the weekly challenges Omi that's going to be pushed out.
Oh my god. Wait. Galactic War Omis.
Oh, yeah.
Galactic War Omi.
Yeah. I swear to God, if they put one on like Chopper and he doesn't get a Zeta to go with it, I'll be crying.
Oh my god. Chopper absolutely needs a fucking Zeta.
He does. He needs a Zeta.
Hey,
Give
hold
him
on,
just
hold
one
on.
more ability with a Zeta.
Cad Bane needs a Zeta before Chopper gets.
Cad Bane needs a fucking rework, please. I think somebody had said that in chat earlier. I just really glanced over it. Cad Bane is like
I
a
reckon
fucking
we should
insult.
just get a new Cad Bane. I would rather a new Cad Bane.
Yeah, give me a new Cad Bane that works under Boba Fett Jango for no reason.
for balance reasons.
Yes, for balance purposes.
It's CG, so I mean they have Maul working under Lord Vader, so why the fuck wouldn't Cad Bane work under Boba Fett Jango?
Man.
Yeah, it just makes sense because reasons.
That tracks.
Oh,
all of what you've said makes complete sense to me.
Yep, absolutely, 100%, totally. But realistically, they could just do that because reasons. I hope they fucking don't. But Cad Bane could use a rework. We could use a new Cad Bane. I guess the new Cad Bane wasn't really that appreciably different from the one that we've already had. But no. I could go for a new Cad Bane.
But his face looks different.
Yeah, his face looks different. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of the Cad Bane.
Part of it wasn't a great rendition.
I mean, the live action they did okay. I wasn't a huge fan of like somehow they fucked up the voice and somehow they fucked up like the mannerisms of Cad Bane. I don't know how they managed that one. Like it didn't feel like Cad Bane at all, like to me. But
they did such a poor job at the adaptation, which is like you have so much source material to work from. How did you screw this up?
And I'm pretty sure they had like if it wasn't the same sound guy doing the stuff over there, like they could have had access to the same shit. Like I don't know how they fuck up. It was the same actor and the same sound. Like how they don't fuck up the voice. Like come on,
having stuff available to them. I mean, come on, they don't have many resources.
The thing that kills me is
it just seemed like an easy slam dunk.
There was a the guy who did like the Luke cleanup from final. He remastered it on his own and made it like a million times better. He did the same thing for Cad Bane and made him look far more like his Clone Wars counterpart, and then tweaked the audio. And it's just like this guy did this on his free time in his basement, like in a week. And you're telling me you guys like
Tony Stark built this?
Yeah,
with a box of scraps.
Yeah, that's my point. It's just like so many things don't make sense to where it's like, why was that the part of the budget? Like it is so blatantly obvious in the duel scene that he's wearing like leather gloves they dyed blue. Like they don't even look like fingers. Like guys, come on. You're a multi-billion-dollar company and you guys can't spend a little bit extra on
I think you should cut the little indie company Disney some slack here, man.
Yeah, not bad. I hold them to too high of a standard.
You do. I think you've been spoiled. You've been spoiled by the likes of James Cameron's Avatar, and you just expect too much.
I've just heard the chanting recently. The power of one, the power of two, the power of.
I literally. I was watching that episode,
and I thought that was just mantra. It's the power of many. They get everything done. They do a great job all the time. They don't make any mistake.
I ripped my headphones off during that scene. I was watching that episode with headphones. I was like, no, what the fuck? I just literally had to rip them off. It was like physically painful to listen to. I just it was, the cringe. I'm cringing just thinking about it.
I was watching The Acolyte, because when I came back from holiday, I'd missed 2 episodes of The Acolyte, 3 and 4. And I put it on. Okay, to correct. I didn't watch 2 episodes of The Acolyte, so I decided, as a Star Wars fan, I owed it to myself to catch up. Plus, if nothing, it makes for good, juicy gossip and memes.
It really does.
And I was watching the episodes, and I say I was watching the episodes. Honestly, like I was just getting distracted by my phone. I was just like, "Are we done yet?"
Waiting for credits to roll.
The only cool part is when the Master Acolyte does his force push, and like visually speaking, that was actually kind of cool. Like pushing away all the Jedi, that looked kind of sick. But it was also, for the most part, I have no idea what's actually happening because was not concentrated.
The entire half-hour episode, the only part that mattered was the last minute, and I don't even fucking care about any of them that were in it.
I still like Sol. I still like Master Sol. I find him endearing.
Oh yes.
And that's it.
Oh yeah, I find there's characters that people will like from the show, but I think the majority of it is like either they're just not doing a good job at the whole like murder mystery like thriller part of writing, or they just lost the point of what they were writing. It's like there was like there are a couple other Star Wars shows that have suffered the same fate when they're doing the episodes. They have different writers and they all don't agree on how to write the genre. And I feel like that's what's happening here. It's like you just have writers that like, oh, here's the story arc. Okay, cool. And then they all just take it a different direction and nothing makes sense. You're like, wait, what? Wait, why would you do that? Oh, plot reasons. Okay, cool. Okay. That's
so the show can happen.
The Acolyte is kind of like that, except instead of each writer writing their own individual episodes, like each writer was writing like individual lines within certain scenes and then talking to each other for like the next line.
Was it like a circle jerk? They're all sat around a table and they've all got a notepad.
Yes.
They write one sentence and pass it to the person to the left. They're like, you write the next sentence.
I swear to God, I want the honest to God.
The thread is not a power you can wield. Now wield the power of the thread. It's not a weapon. Now use it as a weapon. Defend yourself. Oh, guys.
I honest to God I want the reason to why the dialogue sucks so bad in this to be like an editor got mad and just made it shit. Like it's like if you ever watched the I can't remember who the actors were, but the newer King Arthur movie that came out 20 years ago. I
don't think it's that old, is it? Charlie Hunman was Arthur.
I have got no idea, but anyways, it's like if you watch the theater cut of that movie, that you're left with so many questions of like, how did these things come to happen? Then you watch the extended cut, and all of a sudden, everything makes sense. You're like, what editor thought that this wasn't vital information? Like,
yeah. Well, they say that about Batman versus Superman, right? The Ultimate Edition actually makes a bit more sense. I still haven't watched it, but I remember watching the first one, and I was like, God, this is fucking bad.
That's like what they rip on George Lucas for in the Attack of the Clones, the dialogue they cut and the dialogue they kept, and they're just like Anakin, like it's just like this monologue between Obi-Wan and somebody else, and it's really like meaning, like has a large impact.
It's Padme, isn't it? Talking about Anakin, how he knew about Anakin's love for her and stuff.
Yeah, and then like Anakin, like I don't like sand. Why is this scene here?
Because he really doesn't like sand. It harkens back to his trauma. Obviously.
Oh, yeah. Naturally.
One sec.
Them gritty britches. But
look, you got to have your principles over here. You got to have things that you stand up for. And if it's in this life, if the thing you really stand up for and defines you that you don't like sand, then by God, screw it from the mountains. Or awkwardly whisper it to the person you're hitting on.
How unfortunate, though, that you don't like sand when you were born on a planet covered in sand. Yeah. I mean, this
is what
luck of the dice is pretty bad there.
This is the best part about like Star Wars being lazy with their backdrop scenery. Is like for Tatooine in lore is supposed to be like a relatively unimportant backwater location. So many major galaxy turning points have happened on that planet.
Hey, I mean, at least we can say one thing for the Acolyte. They haven't ended up on Tatooine yet.
Oh, but they might.
Give it time. Season finale, baby.
Yeah, there's
but then again, I will say, Tatooine, a lot of the big important things have happened specifically because it's off in the background. You couldn't get away with that shit on Coruscant. You can get away with that shit in Tatooine.
But
you know what I'm saying?
There must be more than one backyard planet.
Oh yeah,
in the galaxy.
Just go with it. Okay, just go with it, Scribe. Damn it!
Why do we not go back to Dagobah?
Because reasons.
Because swamps.
Too much fog. Too much fog. We couldn't get good camera shots.
Go to Alderaan for one episode. I mean, they could in the Acolyte. They could go to Alderaan. Not sure why they'd want to, but
they could all the way up till episode 3.
They went to Alderaan in the Kenobi show.
In the Kenobi show.
Yeah,
we do, and it looked kind of pretty. I'll be honest. I was like, it's a shame this place gets blown up.
It's actually they took a lot of their inspiration came from the artwork that was designed in the SWTOR series.
I was gonna ask about if it was some SWTOR at all, because
They use a lot of the same architecture, which makes sense if you look at the history of Alderaan as a planet. But still, I found it funny that that was like. So you're telling me thousands of years later we've done nothing different?
Hey,
Nailed
if
it.
it's perfect, don't change it.
I feel like that's Star Wars in a nutshell, though. It's like you have you go back like the Old Republic era, which is like 4,000 years ahead of the Episode 1, and then you look at the technology difference between the two, and there's like not a vast amount.
It's like you guys didn't do shit for 5,000 years, did you?
Right.
Well, realistically, if you already have like faster than light speed travel, like hyperspace and everything, the only thing really that you don't have is just better hyperspace. I mean, like, where do you go after that? You're already traveling around. You don't do anything. You already have all your shit. You know, if technology and is like driving changes in culture, and technology is driving changes and all that sort of stuff, you know, and new architecture, and that sort of sort of everything, and there's no major technological changes over 1,000 years because you're so fucking well established, then it kind of makes sense that they would be similar to how it was 1,000 years ago. I mean, they've had space travel there for a long time, so. They're very well interconnected.
It's old hat now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels weird to say, but I mean, yeah, it is pretty much just sort of old hat. Yeah, cool. We got space travel. All right, whatever. Some of them care, some of them don't care. I mean, you see like some of the Star Wars planets where they just don't give a shit, and they're like, okay, cool, yep, that's nice. We keep to ourselves. Awesome.
Yeah. We're happy. We don't need any new technology. We are the zenith of technology. So
the space.
All that makes sense.
Space Amish. There we go. Star Wars Amish.
I actually
We've got
watched that.
awesome buggy. What else do we need?
I actually watched that Weird Al biopic parody film with Daniel Radcliffe the other day. That was funny. I like how in Weird Al's own film about his own life, he parodies it. I mean, that was quite clever. It was like 20 minutes into the film, I was like, I know it's Weird Al, and Weird Al is a weird guy, right? But as the film goes on, you're just like, okay, this doesn't seem plausible, and then it goes up a level. It's like, and now he's fighting a Colombian drug lord. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. You gotta love it.
I haven't seen it. That's hilarious. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Weird Al.
Yeah. It's
that guy.
And he's actually in the film as well. He plays like the music producer that interviews Weird Al when he's trying to get his song on the radio, and he's like, "This is trash." But no, it was enjoyable. Side note: Daniel Radcliffe is absolutely fucking ripped. I didn't realize he actually became Harry Potter or whatever they want to call him, but he's absolutely ripped in that film. I was like, "The hell have you? How many steroids have you been taking, bro?" So yeah, decent film though. Good for a laugh. Not too long.
There we
go. Yeah. Sidetrack on this SWGoH podcast.
What?
Yeah.
What? A sidetrack on this podcast? No.
Outrageous.
No.
Unacceptable.
Right,
you're going to have to ban me for the rest of the podcast. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. No more.
Just
no more.
Turn off my camera. Where is my camera? Boop. Okay. There you go. Sorry,
it's been
guys.
Real.
Yep, it's been real. You guys.
I say your mic.
For now.
I say your mic mutes itself on its own enough as it is, so I mean it's already taken care of half the
Maybe
job.
that's just a sign that he should be done. Hang up the hat. Give it up.
I mean, I should probably put on a
up
hat.
Old news. Ooh.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Just settle for the hat with the wig already attached to it.
Yeah,
we gotta get.
I'm still maintaining that Wolfie's Robin Hood hat is actually that's a wig that he's got underneath there. It's just attached to the 100%. Hat, and he's 100%. Rocking the friar tuck, sideburns, but bald on top look.
We don't pay attention to the fact that I change hats frequently, but you know.
No.
Anyways,
why would logic get in the way of?
Nah.
All
right, but Scribe does need a hat. What are you getting? We need like a big old like piratey tri-corner hat. Like what are we what are we talking over here? We need something fancy.
Tri-corner, like the
a giant tri-corner fucking pirate hat. Do it.
With a parrot on it. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds like it might be a little bit unwieldy to use, wobbling around.
Just when you're doing push-ups.
I'll get you.
Just take it off when you're doing. Just take it off when you're doing push-ups. You're fine.
Yeah. Can't actually go down all the way because the hat is just like
You're doing push-ups like this. Like, yep.
2
Totally.
centimeter range of motion. Talking about push-ups
Hey.
here now, not coitus.
Yeah. I mean, might as well just copy and paste. You're already a pro at it.
Yep. I mean, yeah, exactly. Getting a clone trooper helmet, that could be really hot to try and stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, Ranger's already got the market cornered on Mando gear, hasn't he? So he's got the whole shebang that he's polished his helmet.
And he's got a fan in there.
Yeah.
He does.
He's got fans blowing on his face.
Because yes, shit gets hot.
Yeah, it does. It does indeed. He's also got a full Darth Revan costume, hasn't he? So,
Yes.
Yes, he does.
man likes his cosplay. You know what I mean? It does look sick, to be fair.
Yeah. I say the Mando getup in Vegas was insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
I mean, yeah.
And then I had shared a picture with him of this, but I always go to the Renaissance Fair every year up in upstate New York. And there's this one stand over there where they sell wooden swords, and we got they're like really good quality for like full combat, full contact, and everything. Cool. But the guy who was manning the shop had made himself a set of wooden Mando armor, so I had a wooden Mando thing which he like routed out and engraved and everything, made it look sick. Yeah, like the chest plate is segmented and everything. It was really fucking cool.
That is kind of sick. That reminds me of there's that musician Daniel Kim, is it, that does like he does mashups
the Star Wars stuff,
of Star Wars music, but he does like crosses it with medieval fantasy themes, right? But all of his thumbnails have got really cool like, oh, what if Jedi Knight Anakin was a medieval knight, and those mock-ups look really sick. That mashup of Star Wars and like medieval fantasy is a really cool aesthetic. I'm like, it would look kind of sick, to be honest. Like, right? Star Wars Jedi armor mixed with Renaissance fair kind of styling. That would look awesome. Samuel Kim, that's it, Evo. Thank you, not Daniel Kim. Yeah. Who's Daniel Kim? Is he an actor or something? I have no idea.
I think because we were talking about Daniel Radcliffe, you had Daniel on your mind.
Could be that. Could be that, and he is an actor. So.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Definitely
like that aesthetic.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's no like Renaissance fairs or type stuff by you. It's more of a thing over here.
There's probably stuff in the UK that does that, but not necessarily. I mean, maybe there's stuff in Cardiff. We have a castle, so I mean, it would be a good place to have a Renaissance fair.
You have like real castles and shit, so it's more of like just it's our history and everything instead of we're getting drunk.
Every day is Renaissance Fair Day.
Hey.
I mean, I know they've done jousts
on a Tuesday, ain't it?
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. No, they don't say Tuesday in Cardiff.
Oh.
They say Tuesday, bud.
All right.
Tuesday.
Oof,
Yeah.
Oof.
And that's normally
fancy pants over here.
Yeah. I don't know. So what else has happened in the land of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes in the last week?
We have the new assault battle, the raid characters.
Pretty much hit the major topics. We actually had SWGoH stuff to talk about today. It was weird.
I know, it's odd, right? It's almost like
spent the last 2 months going, hey, can we have a fucking post, please?
Do we have questions of the tribe to talk about?
Potentially.
That's a good question.
I thought I saw one or two in there. Somewhere.
I thought, putty tat. There are questions. When was the last time we had? What was the last question that we answered? Because I've not cleansed this. Obviously, that's my bad.
Calls himself a professional. Hold on, let me.
Tribe Talks questions.
Yeah.
Let's see. The last Tribe Talks we had was on June 9.
Okay. So yeah, I think we've just got the one from Zoidberg then, is it?
Okay.
Unless people want to go head to Scribes' Discord.
Don't encourage them.
Type in some Tribe Talk questions for us to answer.
I mean, you could do that, yeah. Absolutely.
You could run and do that real quick when we get to the first one that's there. But otherwise, it's going to be a really short Tribe questions session.
Exactly. So we'll kick off then with Zoidy. Mr. Zoidberg states 2 questions. What are your thoughts on CG trying to encourage everything to Relic 9? Let's start with that. My personal stance on this is I think it's fine depending on what rewards they get. They have to, eventually we need to be progressing. We always need to be progressing in one way or another. And Relic levels currently in TB and stuff like that, that is the progression that we have in the game. They're not going to just be like, keep on introducing new characters. It's like our progression system is not necessarily new characters. It's going to be stuff like Relic levels. Maybe until they release a different way of developing our rosters, be that new types of abilities, new game modes that have got, say, for example, vehicles. Then
Datacrons for your Datacrons.
Yeah, Datacrons for your ships. They're shitacrons. Then that's how they're going to do it. Like, I don't mind them pushing Relic 9, but there has to be an incentive to do it. Currently, for the most part, the incentive hasn't been there. However, this latest assault battle seems a pretty good incentive, and when we see the reward track for the new raid, it might be worthwhile to start doing it. Right now, it's just too hard to reasonably get up a bunch of Relic 9 characters. So that's my take.
Every time.
Yeah. Go ahead, Wolf.
Every time somebody asks, when is Relic 10 coming? When is Relic 10 coming? There's got to be Relic 10 soon. The answer that they're inevitably met with, pretty much from everybody that I've seen gives the same answer. There's not enough interaction with Relic 9. Unless you're at the top end, you have a lot of Relic 9s. Pretty much everybody else is only going to have Relic 9 requirements, just like for, your Profundity, your Leviathan, that sort of stuff. You'll have your JML, stuff like that. Most of the player base is only going to have a couple of Relic 9s. So Relic 10 doesn't make sense to bring out until there's actually more engagement with Relic 9. This sort of feels like them like, okay, guys, let's, we got a Relic 9. Let's start doing some shit. Come on, interact with it, please. God, just do something with your Relic 9s, please.
That was they made the selling point for Relic 9 really shite. Because there was basically 2 incentives to Relic 9 characters, which was A, if they were pilots, B, if they were tanks. Outside of that, the point for Relic 9 is pretty low. And so it's like most
and the cost is very high.
Well, you could Relic 8 2 characters for the same price as taking 1 character from like Relic 7 to Relic 9. But that it's they never really did anything to incentivize it, and then the longer the TBs have been out, the only reason we're even pushing farther into that is because of roster bloat, not because of more people wanting to invest into Relic 9s. Because the later tiers will require so much roster bloat that the only way you could max TB is by like everybody having like 18 million GP rosters.
And I'm not quite there yet, mate. I'll be honest. I'm trying.
Well, yeah, they to do the full CMs and platoons on the last 3 planets all at the same time. The average guild member is going to need to have upwards of 100 plus R9s in their roster.
That's just not feasible.
Yeah, which for most players, it's like a quantity of 10 times what they have presently or 20 times what they have presently.
Yeah, I was going to say for most people, it's probably closer to 20 times than 10 times.
So they're incentivizing it by they're requiring Relic 9 on more things, but they're giving you a payback. Like you're gonna probably R9 Master Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan for the new raid. Let's give you an assault battle that helps pay that back a little bit better. I'm okay with that kind of stuff. I'm actually wildly surprised we don't have one for the Gungans as well, doing the same shit. They might do that when after Jar Jar comes back another time or two. They might push something like that out as well. That's a possibility, but that would be incredibly generous for them if they do. But my answer every time is with R9 is, unless availability starts to just dump on us, I do not see R10 coming down anytime soon.
Yeah,
I mean, they have 3 or 4 players in the entire game that have R9 in their roster, and that's because they've got more credit cards than common sense.
And this is coming from Karth. I mean, You know?
Well, I mean, they just have the ability to do it, so they did, and that's where they're at with it. But the outside of that, there's just no real reason to go down the roster and put every single character to R9.
Nope.
So,
and honestly, like we've discussed this before as well for TB, it's such a heavy investment to try and actually get usable on, because I mean you're going to want to do the operations first, and then you're not obviously going to be using those characters within the combat missions and the special missions, so you need to invest further to try and get a usable team. And a lot of the time people aren't going to have a full synergistic R9 team to use, and then the reward payout that you get for doing it is dog shit.
It's still the worst return on investment.
Yeah,
by
it's
far.
terrible.
oh yeah,
I don't mind
Still
when it's
awful.
stuff like new raid, new tier of rewards, bunch of R9. That bleeds over into me being able to do more stuff in TB. I'm okay with
Yes.
that. If TB is like the afterthought, it's like the little mint that you get on your pillow in the hotel. That chocolate mint that's there. It's like, welcome to the hotel. You're like, I got a little taste of chocolate mint. Thank you very much. That's about it. That's TB for me. It's like, oh, there's a little bit. I did this. I bought this shiny hotel room and I've got a chocolate mint. That's the, TB's the chocolate mint on my pillow.
Don't eat the mint they could charge you for it. It's like $100.
I
Sorry,
mean,
go on.
like,
Son of a bitch.
honest to God, though, the only way I could ever see TB being any kind of worth like trying to max it is if like the reward box gave you enough R9 mats to R9 a new
Another character.
every TB. Because otherwise, like the ROI is like it'll take just to do because I think everybody needs to do somewhere around 5 R9s for to complete all operations in the zone.
That's crazy.
And I've got like 16 Relic 9s in my roster.
Yeah.
So I'd have to do a third of my roster again just to do the platoons, not the missions, the platoons.
Yeah, the platoons somewhere around that number. But anyways, it's gonna take you like a year of TB rewards to generate enough overall rewards to pay that back, like pay the first like couple back. And so it's like it's gonna take you 2.5 years of TB to get enough back to get the the additional rewards you're getting at the new star level to pay back. I understand why CG built the TB the way they did, because it future proofs a lot of things. It has modularity and flexibility, but nobody in their right mind is going to be going after that. Guilds are going to need like total GPs in like pushing 1 billion to be able to max the stars on the last day of TB being active.
I still despise that their version of future proofing is just like require Relic 9s for everything. It's like it's future proof. You'll eventually have full Relic 9s. Like guys, just come on.
It's a dumb mechanic because there's no skill effort in trying anymore. It's like, oh well, I can't go in at R7 and maybe with a cool strategy from a YouTuber, I'll be able to figure out how to do this fight.
I'm a YouTuber.
Do you have cool strategies?
No, sorry.
Ah, shit.
No.
So.
Well, 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
I've got all the strats, bro. I have some video guides out and stuff and things. Sometimes people watch them. Occasionally.
Sometimes we do. But anyways, it de-incentivizes from trying to learn anything crazy, because like honest to God, a lot of the later Planet CMs are like, well, if you just take Jabba and 4 other R9s, you'll win because they can't kill Jabba. Like, oh, well, that's a fun mechanic. Like, you lose everybody else, but Jabba can't die because he's a GL and he's immune to dot damage, doing full damage.
That dot planet is just horrendous, by the way.
Yeah,
it's like you're going with any other team. It's like, oh, it's a permanent, undispellable dot once you get into wave 2 that's still ramping. You revive all your units with Leia, you get an ultimate off, you revive everyone, and they've still got those dots on them. They're like, oh, they take 1 turn, they die of dots. You're like, okay, cool. You can still win.
Where's my
You know who doesn't have dots on them? Ahsoka Fulcrum.
No.
Because she's immune to dots.
No, these are locked. They're locked.
She's immune to dots.
She's immune? Oh, that's
She's
right.
immune to dots.
Immune.
But I don't have an R9 Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum.
Well, get good.
Get good, Scrub. Why don't you have one?
Abandon your raid efforts right now and go R9 the UFU team.
Yeah, I abandon my new assault battle R9 for for Master Qui-Gon Jinn, and R9 Ahsoka Tano Falcon.
I'm surprised you did Padawan Obi before Master Qui-Gon.
Well, the way I was looking at it is, it doesn't fucking matter. Because I'm doing both.
I'm doing them both anyways.
I'm doing them both in the span of like 3 days.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Like, who cares?
You did Padawan Obi after lock-in for TW. So
Yeah, exactly. So it was a case of eeny, meeny, miny. Okay, fuck it, just do this guy. Yeah,
this one's closest.
Yeah, I was going for, young hotness rather than old beaten up master. Then I'll do the master.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. Did we get more questions? Actually, we only answered half of that first question. So,
did we even finish answering that question? I don't know.
No. There's a part 2.
Did we even have thoughts on that? I don't know. Thoughts on trying to encourage everything to Relic 9? I mean, I guess they sort of have to.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
their prerogative.
Okay with it. I'm okay with it as long as it's like,
as long as they make it worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Encouraging's fine, but the encouragement needs to come with additional reward avenues, and that's what they're presently doing, which I'm okay with. They have done a lot more of the recent kits are clearly designed around the thought process of being at Relic 9. Queen Amidala is your tank, but the summons is the tank. The summon scales off the relic levels of the main character, so there's the advantage for that. Qui-Gon gets stuff based off of the bigger the health pool, the better for his thing. If he dies, Obi-Wan gets stats based off of his relic amplifier level. They've started to word kits in a way that relics matter when you're looking at the characters. And they started that even back with Bane. But I'm okay with it as long as there's a reason to go down the road, not just that. Well, I required an R9 Darth Revan because
I need this new ship.
Yeah.
If you rephrase your question to say, what are your thoughts on CG trying to make more Relic 9s actually worth it? Yes. I am okay with them trying to make more Relic 9 characters actually worth having a Relic 9 on them. That I'm okay with.
Me too.
So if I rephrase your question, read it that way, then yeah, cool. That's their prerogative. They're going to make it worth it. Awesome. Yeah, I already have a bunch of Relic 9s. We can benefit from that. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Make it happen.
And then the second part of this question is, it says my name here, but it's going to apply to all of us. Are we going to be happy when the new raid is just endless B1s and the new assault battle is actually what you wanted? Well, actually, what I wanted was the Jar Jar event to be the raid. The Jar Jar event is the perfect raid. It covers the gamut of what the Battle of Naboo should have been. Except you don't get a proper Darth Maul, because I want the sliding doors, the electric doors on the catwalks.
I want the Darth Maul from the Jar Jar event. Jesus Christ, that guy that would have been awesome to have in the game.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But
so it's not just endless B1s. So it's B1s, Staps, and Droidicas that you're facing, and then a randomized command battle droid over there. Which actually, what are your thoughts on the randomized command battle droid?
Well, that's just like the Sector 3 Conquest boss from before, isn't it? One of those was a commander droid that had randomized modifiers on him.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
he would change what his uniques did. Otherwise, like they would stack a certain unique debuff. And
I don't remember.
There was just certain things you could do. But when you had Slacker just swiping everybody for one shots, what did it matter?
It didn't. It mattered in certain comps because it would be like, oh my god, this guy is just recovering a million hit points every single time you take a turn.
Yeah, when they had the debuff heavy one, like where they recovered points when you debuff them, you had to. So my guess is that it's going to change from, do you focus the commander droid or do you focus something else, and you go back and forth on the strategy of the raid as it goes along.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, like I said, I am okay with having the raid needing like a level of thought to it.
Yeah, agree.
But the I think if it's over, like if it's super like taxing on it, you're just gonna get people to hate it as much as they hated doing like crate and stuff like that.
My biggest concern about that right now is, from what I gathered from the raid announcement, is that it's randomized effects on the commando droid. And if your run success is determined by getting good RNG on the commando droid effect, like if it has like a particularly nasty unique that really screws up runs, I do not want to be sat down rerunning raid runs for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So
well, I'm hoping to be more like Karth's vision, where it'll just be a different strategy, but you'll still be able to play it out, and you just have to play it differently depending on what's over there. Whether you'll focus this person, focus that over there, and you'll do a couple different things like that. If it's like along those lines, absolutely love it, great. If it's more along like the more pessimistic view, and this is your crazy RNG, if you get this one random commando battle droid, then you just restart because you fucking lose. Yeah. Then that's the pessimistic view. I hope they don't go along those lines. I'm hoping,
you get like you get a commander droid that can instantly defeat somebody if they have like X amount of stack or something, and so it's like you get him like 3 times in a row, so you haven't a chance to clear the stacks. He's just like instantly one-shotting your team, and now you have to start over. Yeah, screw that noise. That's going to be the most annoying thing in God's green earth.
Yes. So they could do it and make it horrific, but they could do it and make it just, it's different strategy. You got to play it a little differently, but it's not the end of the world.
Though part of talking about the raid specifically, the part I'm interested in is I want to know what they mean by battling them in ground and space.
I was going to ask the same thing, man.
I got distracted by Wolfie singing. What did you say, Garth?
Oh, it's... What they mean by battling them on the ground and in space.
Yeah.
The general consensus right now is that there's multiple maps set up for it where you load in and the background will be different.
I was thinking like
on the Luger Hulk versus fighting on the ground battle.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I was thinking like the Separatists would be in space and you're trying to like get through a wave of all these droids so you can get to Anakin before he blows up your ship, or it's like some stupid shit like that, like something along those lines. Yeah,
or you're just general laying it to victory, and your characters become starfighters.
But just flying through the sky.
There's
in the vacuum of space.
Me is interested by what they mean by that, and I really hope they expand upon that, because all Meathead did when people asked about it was like winky face, and I'm like, all right, this feels like a troll, which could easily just be like the background for one of the events is on the Luger Hulk.
Mm-hmm. And unless they mean it in like, the scientific way of describing space, like time and space is anywhere, it's location.
Anywhere,
not space.
I would, if they did happen to do a tier where you could like if, honest to God, I don't understand why they didn't make the raid like they made the ones from the now deceased Heroes of Middle Earth, because it's like, was that a little annoying that to do multiple runs every day for like 4 days straight? Sure, but at least there was like different things to do during
the mechanics
that time
were different
frame.
each way.
The mechanics were different, so it was kind of interesting. So like if you, let's say you limit the number of attempts every day, but we change who's usable each day, then I got to come back, but I only got to do like 1 or 2 fights.
Yeah, it's like day 1. Today you get to use Galactic Republic. Day 2, you get to use Jedi. Day 3, Gungans. Day 4, Separatists. And you've done your raid.
Something along those lines could be interesting. I think they were shying away from doing stuff like that, but
they are. Yeah. I just, my head just goes like, I don't understand why they want to do the endless stuff, because that's like the most boring mechanic in the world that we can go with. It's like, all right, well, I'm just going to keep wailing on this 1,000 stacks of B1 until that commander droid is vulnerable. Then I kill the commander droid. Then I keep wailing on this 1,000 stacks of B1. Oh, there's a droidica. Kill a droidica real quick. Okay, back wailing on 1,000 stacks of B1. I'm like,
I was gonna say, like, my first reaction when I saw this, this thing, even though it's not just waves of B1s and all that sort of shit, it's like the different types of droids and whatnot. My first thought was sort of back to the conversation we had with Scribe, where it's like, there's no big bad. Like, where's like the big boss that we're fighting for this raid? It doesn't feel as satisfying when there isn't like some big final thing you got to take down.
That's kind
it just says they're spawning from the MTT, but
I assume in the cinematic, if you max the score, it blows up. But that would be
but also
cinematic. It's not satisfying.
I know. I'm with you.
You also look at the MTT. You don't look at that thing and you think, "Wow, what an intimidating thing to take down." It's like it's transport carrier.
Wow, what a troop transport.
Yeah,
heavily
yeah.
armored
Yeah.
like really great at anti-personnel. But yeah, I'm with you. It's
I don't know.
it's a thing. It's a thing.
It just looks like a giant
But
armadillo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the short of it is I'm hopeful that the raid's more interesting than what we are assuming was the Sector 3 Conquest node, but
Yes,
at the same
so am I.
time, like that's where my expectations are.
I mean-
so it's like I'll be surprised if it's better than that, but I am not going to be like, oh my god.
The thing
how is it
that
this
gives
shitty?
me hope for it is when we look at things like the maps they've brought out since, and we look at the Gungan event, I'm like, already those two events that use the same themes in the same locations looks better than what we saw in Sector 3 of Conquest with the B1 boss.
Yeah.
So the fact that they already have the assets, it gives me hope that the raid is better than what we had in Sector 3, at the very least. So,
Or they're just gonna push out Naboo as a planet in 6 months.
you still riding that one, huh, Koth?
I am, man. Like they've made so many assets for Naboo, they'd be stupid not to take advantage of that.
That's
Like,
that's
you-
what Koth is really going over to discuss on July 6th.
Throw it on like Relic 9. Like just watch everyone cry about it. But like what, you had to Relic 9 the Queen Amidala team anyways, guys, so come on.
And your Bo-Katan team as well. That's two teams. Two teams.
You know what I find funny about the Bo-Katan team though is that you don't need full light side Mandos to win the CM.
Do you know?
It's like no, it's like you can take 9, like I think 5 other ones and limp through it pretty easily.
Oh, is it not a hard CM? It's just
As from what I've heard,
S9
I've yet to
Lehigh.
see it. The other ones
okay.
have all been annoyingly, like
yeah, horrendous.
gotta get it around A, B, or C, or I die.
Mhm.
But the that's what I've heard. Which would be like, if it's the case, I only need one more Mando at R9 to do the attempt.
The one I really dislike doing is when you're on Zepho and you have to fight those bounty hunter droids when you haven't done the operations. Like,
oh yeah,
holy shit, man!
Yeah.
They just like they
it's
punch
pretty
you and
rough.
they're like
One shot your
256,000 true damage. You're just like,
Oh, yeah,
well,
so
okay.
Oh my god, it's like every day we're doing like half CMs,
Yeah.
like half ops. I'm just like, can we not? Like, I don't like just watching my characters die in 2 seconds. Like that's demoralizing. Can we just do something different?
Yeah, it's not fun. Yeah, so I don't like engaging because part of our guild's efforts on Zepho is we preload Zepho, but we also preload the operations for Zepho. So sometimes you're doing some of the combat missions without having the operations complete, and it just makes those missions horrendous. It's like they hit so damn hard, everything just wipes you in seconds. It's very
Yeah,
demoralizing.
it's like you basically the one like the freebie is the fleet, and then after that it's like you might get lucky with Rey and get that one done. The Jedi Knight Cal one, if you've got the Ami lead, you could probably get through without them. But the free zone on that planet, it's like unless you have like just tons of like A tier characters left and you can just suppress the other team into the floor, it's like, oh, by the way,
we're just going to systematically one-tap each of your characters.
the leader got loose, did an AoE, and killed 4 out of the 5 people on your team. I'm like, oh, well, that was fun.
Yeah. Tons of fun. So yeah. Hopeful for the raid, I guess, is the answer to that. So Menanal has a question as well here. Gentlemen, where have the monthly Kyro crystal packs gone? Monthly Kyro crystal packs?
Gamble packs you spend and then you get 25 or 50.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen them in a while. I wouldn't buy them at the moment because I have like 1,500 of each Kyro tech at the moment. I've got way too much Kyro tech. It's because I haven't really been gearing anything. But I don't know. I haven't seen them in ages, truth be told.
I want to say they're coming back shortly. Let me just check the store.
Because they're not a bad gamble. Like,
No, they're not. They're actually fairly
Because
decent.
even if you get the 25, you're still slightly ahead, aren't you? It's usually, is it 700 for 25 normally?
It's 700 for 25, and
Yeah.
then it's 1,400 for the 100 or 50.
10 crystals left, and you still get you still get at least the 25, and you might lucky up and get twice. It's quite nice, but yeah, I probably wouldn't buy them at this point.
Yeah, I thought I saw somewhere with the Relic Amplifier ones come back out at the end of June.
Okay.
Which correlates with the end of the 5v5 seasons. That makes sense.
Yeah. What's your Relic Horde looking like right now, Wolfie?
Well, I'm in the middle of looking at. I mean, because we haven't been having this conversation, bringing Padawan Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon up from 8 to 9. I've got all the Gungans up at Relic 7, so
nice.
I mean they're probably gonna have to go to 8 for the actual raid. For sure. Trying to parse it out as much as I can. A lot of my stuff has just been relic padding recently. I've just been doing a lot of that stuff, and it's just Electriums honestly have been the biggest holdup for me.
Oh god,
Electriums
also the freaking Electriums, yeah.
The fact that they start at 20 and always stay there kills me, because I'm like, everything else goes like up a little bit, or they're not made tiers with it.
Yeah,
but the that's the Electriums always killed me. They're coming back and biting me in the butt again. I was like,
as much as Signal Data does suck, yeah, the Electriums are by far the worst for me right now. Yeah, so right now I'm really just working on like the raid teams and getting all those guys up and running. So
same.
Gungans are all at 7, Qui-Gon and those guys are at 8. So it's just we'll see what the rest of the team's going to be like. Right now we're just in a holding pattern until we actually get some more information and see.
Yeah, or until we can actually jump in, right? And
so we can give it some testing and see what it actually looks like. Because this is all going to be, as we said earlier, this is all theoretical. This is all just hypothetical until we can actually get our hands on it and see what happens. So
faux show
indeed. But I'm at 12.6 million. It is a little bit crazy. Yeah, how much I
think you got a whole million. I think I'm 11.7. Let me see. Yeah, 11.7 right now.
Damn.
So yeah.
Damn. Crazy shit, man.
Need 900k to catch up to you, Wolfie. I don't see that happening. Not anytime soon.
Well, I mean, I'm slowing down, and I mean, you're still going crazy. So
to be fair though, like the higher your GP is, the harder it becomes to get those additional. The more GP you got, the harder it is to get more GP. So
yeah, it starts diminishing over time for sure.
Yeah,
so,
I'm sure we'll
up for a while, and then rockets up, and then like sort of peters off for a little bit. But,
yeah, it's like here's a new capital ship. Everybody gains 300,000-400,000 GP.
Yeah,
because of the new ships, and then
that's every time.
Yeah,
new capital ships come up, you're between 300 and 400 some odd.
Even when you just get like a new ship with a new character or something like that, if it's like, just a solo character ship but just an R8 character, you might get like 80,000 fleet GP essentially, and then you might get an extra 25-30,000 for the character. So it's like there's 100,000 GP immediately for one character. It's like nice.
Yeah, that's always nuts. I love that when that stuff comes in.
Yeah.
Just need. I desperately want to know what the road ahead is now. Like that's where I'm at with the game. I'm like, I want to know what we're doing for the next 6 months, because honest to God, I've got no idea.
Yeah, we're all in the dark right now, right?
Because we didn't even get a hint with the next Conquest character.
Yeah,
Luthen was no help whatsoever.
Yeah,
so
Luthen was
we got nothing.
a complete.
He feels like a filler, doesn't he? He feels like a filler. Yeah. Filler. No, that doesn't mean he's bad. I'm not saying he's bad, but it feels like this is just we've got a gap in our schedule. Let's throw out Luthen for reasons.
Luthen is like the weirdest fucking release, because he's a character that I love, a character that I've wanted. Like I truly want him in the game and everything. He looks like he's be pretty good. It's just in with just such a like. I'm not as excited as I feel like I should be, because I've got so many more questions about the rest of the fucking game. Yeah, it's just like, oh, by the way, here's Luthen.
Like,
wait, what? What?
Okay then.
What? Thanks.
Part of me wants to like believe that they're gonna do something interesting with him and the Rebel fleets, but
yeah,
and that's
if they bring the Fondor, then
that's all they do. But that's all they could really do for the for fleets this year, because their kind of angle for now is to have like they want the power level of fleets to be high, so that they got to have Conquest things be a part of that to validate the increase in power level behind them. And so it's like, So if you want a Conquest unit, like we're not getting a third Rebel fleet. That would be asinine. I don't even see a third GR fleet being likely. And so it's like, I feel like if they're going to drop the ball on anything this year, it's going to be the fleet gets sidelined until like, late winter, early spring next year. And then we go into another GL. Because I feel like the GL it's fairly low hanging fruit. It's something that a lot of people are excited to grind after, where fleets are not nearly as interesting for players.
No. People are always going to be more excited about a Galactic Legend than a new fleet.
Yeah. So I feel like if they're gonna have to pick a lane at some point here to get both pushed out by the end of, or to get one of them pushed out by the end of the year at this point. It's possible that's not the case, but I mean, we had the Leviathan well known about in like April, right? And then it released in July last year, early.
I can't remember the timeline at all. I'll be honest, mate. And then we had Jabba not long after, right? September?
Well, yeah, because when Leviathan got announced, then Jabba the Hutt came on the heels of that. So Jabba came out end of October, but we had 4 marquees to get through. No, for Leia. Sorry, Leia came out end of October, but we had like 4 marquees to get through, and then I think Captain Rex came out in July of last year.
Okay.
So it was like we were like pumping out all these marquees and then trying to get all because we had all those events leading up to Leia's initial release.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, they were so amazing. Those bonus drops for Nisa and Captain Rex and all that business, that was so good.
So there was a lot of stuff that they kind of push out the direction with that. So it's like, unless they're doing like a meh capital ship this year, and they're just going to do a couple of marquees, and it's going to be like, well, it's going to bring up this end of the faction, but it's not really going to be competing with Leviathan. But then if it doesn't beat the Leviathan, then nobody's going to want to invest in it. So I feel like if they do a new capital ship, they have to do something where it's like, invest in this thing, otherwise you won't be beating the Leviathan anymore. But it's completely
if they do a meh capital ship, then they can't release it the same way they do, because nobody's gonna invest that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
That's where my head is just having a hard time figuring out. It's like, if they want to do like a separatist capital ship and split the fleet, it's like, which is fine, cool, great. We need stuff and things to make that work. And if that's going to beat the Leviathan, then like, okay, then what do we add to do this?
Yeah. And if it's not, you're going to have to make the requirements like Relic 5 so that people actually do it.
Exactly.
and probably expect not many people to whale on it to 7-star immediately.
That's the biggest thing. Like, got all these refreshes to 7 stars. That's like where a lot of their money is in the ships. So,
yeah,
well, exactly.
Not having that incentive.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
I have no idea where they're headed with it, to be honest with you. That's where my brain just is like, I almost feel like it's just better for them not to push out a ship this year, which at this point, why bother? The fleet meta is obnoxious enough where it sits, but there are plenty of options depending on what you keep and say, put down on defense and save for offense, so it's like they're not at a place where I feel like they need to outdo it, and they might as well take their time.
Yeah.
And then just move to a GL, which people are going to chase more anyways, and then move along. They could, and I think I mentioned this last time we did our tribe talks, is that they bring out the Fondor and then allow the Fondor to somehow rebalance the home one profundity fleet by either allowing to kick out, the
Millennium Falcon.
The Millennium Falcon to go back to the home one fleet, and then basically find a way to be a replacement or make the intel part go out faster, then that's totally doable. You strengthen 2 fleets with 1 ship, and then you can immediately make the Profundity now a viable threat to the Leviathan with only having to add 1 ship into the game. Diversifies the meta a little bit, again, because everybody's just not going to drop Leviathan on defense or just save it for offense, one of the two. That would be the easier way in my head to deal with it. But otherwise, my brain starts to hurt as how they diversify that without just absolutely start dumping on us. Like, I'm actually happy right now for the reprieve from the constant marquees we've had for like the last like, 3 months.
It's been nice, yeah. It's been even though they've had the nice whaley marquees, I don't necessarily want to keep whaling on new marquees. It's a pricey business. It's a pricey business. I would probably enjoy a period of fewer marquees and less stress there. But then again, I'm sure that's exactly what we're going to get is just more marquees at some point, and we'll get a UGL at the end of the year. And
oh yeah, they're gonna start loading stuff at some point.
It'll happen.
I like the way they've been doing the newer GLs, though. I don't really care for how they did Leia, but I did like how they did Jabba. I like them building the teams and then just shipping them to us as a complete package. I feel like they're a lot better thought out. Like I feel like Leia honestly needed different options. Like old Ben being on the team is fine because he doesn't really have another home. But the 5th seems like it's so lackluster because it's like, all right, kinda, sure, sorta, but like,
I think part of the problem was like the marquees that they introduced for Leia were obviously lifters for other factions, really, right?
Yeah.
You had Scout there, you had Nisa, Captain Rex. Sure, he can go in a Leia team, but realistically, you're going to throw him with Phoenix, or you're going to throw him with Gas, or you're going to throw him with clones or whatever.
Too many homes with that.
He has way too many homes, so it's kind of like realistically, the only marquee from her requirements was Drogon that went to her team.
Well, and her whole unique is making R2D2 viable under her leadership, which is fine. But it's a 3-man team, and so like the 4th, you're like, oh well, Jedi tank is part of her kit. Okay, cool. We've got 2 to run with, but like you can't really like with Captain Rex being released, it made no sense to pull Kane from the team. So it was like, okay, so we get 1 Jedi tank, and then we need a 5th, and everyone else kind of has homes or needs to be in a pair. So it's like, well, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah. No, I agree. I like it would be nice to have in the full team. And like my Leia team, Princess Leia team, Galactic Legend Leia, sorry. She still doesn't really have a 5th and a 4th and a 5th. I just tend to run Adrad with Jin for now because I'm just like,
it's already upgraded, and
it's already upgraded, and I fucking hate Adrad as a team. I just fucking despise him. So I'd rather have him.
Fucking vendetta over here.
He
loses too many matches for me.
Yeah,
that interaction is actually a pretty fun one. Having Adrad on and Jin on the Leia team, that is a pretty fun interaction.
Yeah. It is, yeah. It's a good combo, but it's like it just sucks that like I would prefer things to be designed to where if the Datacrons support like power condensing teams to a more refined version of it, like we did with the Han Chewie under Leia with the Drogon Kron at the time. Like I'm fine with those kind of metas because they're short term, but like I don't want Leia to always need this cheese of a tank taunt mechanic with Jyn Erso being unkillable to be like an ideal way to run her, because then it kind of kills the Rogue One investment of the rest of the team. But
yeah,
I don't know. It feels like the Rebel fighter faction's now going to run into the same problem that Rebels ran into before the faction split, because Saw is going to take the good stuff when Luthen releases.
Oh, Saw's going to get the good stuff, baby.
Because Kyle's going to get an extra 10% turn meter and potentially an extra 20%, depending on how his unique reads with Luthen. Because the ally summons at the beginning of the battle.
Oh, you're wondering if he's going to get bonus TM from that?
Yeah. So if he gets plus 50% turn meter, then Kyle's going to become
as long as Kyle is after Luthen in the turn order. Theoretically, his unique should come into effect and draw the summon first. Unless his thing happens at the start of battle or the encounter. It's battle, right?
I have no idea.
No. Kyle is start of the encounter.
Kyle? I thought it was battle.
Yeah. I just read it.
You just read it? It was it's encounter?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought it was like for each TW wave, or sorry, TB wave, TW wave. Oh my god! For each TB wave, I thought I thought he didn't get it.
Yeah, so Kyle started the encounter and Luthen has started the
Okay.
battle.
Okay.
So Kyle's unique should trigger first. So even if the summons is there or not,
He's
won't.
not going to gain the extra 10%.
He won't gain it. So, but he'll still gain 40% turn meter instead of 30% under Mon Mothma because Saw is the rebel fighter tag and Momo's not. And there might be a reason to run Momo under Saw. Like that could be an interesting combination because now you have a revive mechanic with your rebel fighter team, and even though she's not leading, Luthen's unique still directly targets Mon Mothma as getting benefits, even if he's not in the leader's slot.
Yeah,
so
okay.
That could be interesting. But
I really need to gear my Sora is all I'm getting from this, to be honest.
It just comes down to power condensing, and I feel like that's kind of the part that annoys me because like Momo's going to be gutted after this with like nothing usable for less unless it's
how much are you really using her as is? Like she pretty much get used like sometimes as cleanup.
She's a cleanup, yeah, but she's a solid cleanup option in a lot of battles. So it's like,
but I'm saying you're not losing like your main. Oh, my main counter.
Oh yeah, no,
I gotta go and rip this counter apart. It's like, yeah, it's a cleanup team. I'm okay losing some of that and making some actually like good usable team over there. If it was somebody like I'm losing like half a Star Killer's team.
I'm with you. But it's just in my head. It's just like I don't like when they make defined teams and then they just start going like, well, we're gonna put something better out that makes you want to take all your good stuff to here. You're like, oh, well.
I mean, I don't mind because my Momo team never gets used, really. I don't have the investment. They're just kind of garbage for me, that like R5s. So, can't get much use out of that.
That's the other, I guess the other thing with our conversation about the Rebel fleet. Because like the home one fleet over there, if you bring Luthen and whatnot, you bring home Falcon back and whatnot, you still need a high relic Biston. You still need like those
but that sounds like a CG thing to do. It's like just relic more stuff.
You still need like all of those like rebels and rebel fighters, which you may not have, but usable relic levels already.
Oh yeah.
So this may benefit some people more than it benefits others. So it depends on how hard you ship.
Yep, no, 100%. But
I don't ship very hard. I don't ship nearly hard enough. That's the issue.
That's the really like the big consideration with the home one fleet. You need some high relics on those characters, like a high relic Biston, a high relic SRP, on those guys to really do some work. And even then, it's a shitload of RNG. I'm still the home one fleet if they're not assisting.
I'm waiting for the Rogue One relic bundle that gives me like Biston and SRP at Relic 5 minimum. Yeah, I'm holding off.
Could be a pack that comes out.
And Pow. And Bodhi frickin' Rook. He's the pilot, bro.
Oh my god, right.
I still maintain that there will be a time in the future they bring the fucking Rogue One, the actual Rogue One ship, into the game, and Bodhi will be the pilot. I still maintain this will happen at some point in the future.
Maybe it will, buddy. Maybe it will.
Just a matter of time.
I'm rooting for you.
I'm trying to feel less bad for my investment.
Okay? I'm really hoping that like April Fool's next year they announce it.
You fucking imagine.
He is the pilot. And they release a new version of Bodhi Rook, and it's Bodhi the pilot Rook.
No. We get Red 5 and Bodhi's the pilot. That'll be the April Fool's joke.
Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, I'd love it. Yep.
Turns out Bodhi was the original pilot of the Red 5. And
he was
like,
yeah.
He was taking he had the shits that day. And he couldn't fly up, so Luke sat in the ship. Sorry.
Yeah.
He filled in.
He did. But turns out Luke was a pretty good pilot as well.
Yeah, there we go. Well,
bullseyeing all those Womp Rats back on Tatooine is obviously transferable skill set to being a starfighter pilot.
Yes, I know Bodhi is dead. I'm being a jackass.
I just wish.
Stop letting logic get in the way of having a good time, guys. Come on.
We're trying to have fun here.
I wish they would just have added like 2 extra words in Leia's leadership for. would say Jedi Rebel tanks and Rebel tanks gain 100% defense for 2 turns. Like, come on. Let me have a place to put my R9 Zeb. Come on, let's do it.
Wolfie, did you just finish off that bottle of Woodford there? I saw you pouring out, and it reminded me just before I went on holiday, I bought myself a whole fresh bottle, baby. You're making me thirsty, Wolfie. You're making me thirsty. I gotta have some. Yep.
Yes, sir. That be a tapped ass bottle. You know how it be.
Well, you know how it be.
We are out of Tribe Talk questions.
We actually are. We're out of Tribe Talks questions. I did see a question, actually. Hold up. It was, is Shakti plus Bad Batch the better defensive team and full Bad Batch being the better offensive team? It depends, is my response. Like, Shakti's leadership is useful because it will give you additional speed. If you really are relying on having that additional speed, getting additional turns over to your characters, using it for a special, for example, it's useful. But
the short answer is no. And the reason why is because the AI intentionally plays the combo from Echo into Tech wrong.
Yes.
So the only way it will really work is if you have so much mod commitment to the team and your opponent tries to use something that starts with like buffs so that you can loop back around like Tech's second turn very quickly. But like if the AI played it perfect and Echo, because Echo will always strip debuffs on his first thing. That's his go-to move.
Yeah.
Tech will always use his first special instead of a second special. But if by some chance you were lucky enough and Shakti was modded fast enough that she used the call to assist on Tech, granting him 100% turn meter, and then he used the grenade rollout, the special plan, then
that's a whole lot of ifs and buts.
Yeah,
that's a lot of ifs.
At that point, you might as well just be playing that on offense.
Use them on offense.
Yeah. That's the point of it, is like the AI plays intentionally wrong, and you, no matter which way you cut it, CLS will cut that team like a hot knife through butter. So and CLS has so few things to hunt right now. It's like
he does. It makes me very sad.
He still works versus gas, but you know it can be very scary, terrifying.
It can be. It can be very scary because you can end up just losing half your squad quite quickly.
Yeah,
there's so much damage on that team.
I did it on Wednesday versus damage reduction level 3, level 6, sorry, and it was like, okay, well, we made it through, but like just barely. This was terrifying.
What did it cost?
Almost like
the reason why Shakti ends up being the bigger pain in the ass for people to deal with is because of her unique
generating turn meter.
Whenever Shakti or Clone Trooper ally takes damage from an attack, Shakti gains turn meter. And then, so if you do an AoE, Shakti takes a turn. So it's like, it's one of these things where it's like, if you let Shakti start looping the crap out of the board, she will cause problems because she'll get everyone retribution. She'll heal, she'll stealth, she'll get buffs. She'll start doing she'll dispel
a menace.
Stuff. She's a menace. Like that's where it kind of comes in, is if you're going to put the team on defense, Shakti is the better option than Hunter, hands down. Yes, that is. If you're looking at that level of things, that would be the answer.
We still would have gone putting that on defense, though.
Yeah, I still.
Yeah.
But not everybody has the same roster depth, so maybe somebody's like, I really just need a semi-decent team.
Yeah, if you're more mid-range, you're not in like the 12 million or 11 million plus crowd where or in Kuiper 1. Let's just be more specific with that. You have a lot more flexibility into what you can place on defense, and Shakti Bad Batch clones is not a bad option for that. But in the upper levels of stuff, there's so few things that like good teams just can't fight anymore because the meta is the way it is right now. It's like, all right, well, CLS beats like 88% of the teams out there, so full send.
It's it makes me sad actually that the Datacron, the tech Datacron just doesn't. It's not that it's bad; it just doesn't add value. It doesn't help Bad Batch beat anything. You know what I mean? It's like
people were going on. Like when the Datacron first announced, people were like going on about how amazing tech was going to be. Like, he's doing 100% extra damage. He's got all that potency. It's going to be crazy. And I'm sitting there like, guys, 100% means double damage. He does like 30k with the fucking hit. Like, oh boy, he does 60k now. Great. He's not going to be wiping the fucking field. He's not going to be one-shotting GLs. Like, guys,
the
come
problem
on.
is that
let's tamper expectations over here because you're going to be disappointed.
The reason why it's not as impactful is because he's a special damage dealer in a set that's promoting physical.
Well,
So
there's
like,
that as well. Yeah.
If you had a decent amount of offense, resistance penetration, that level 9, and you mod him for damage, Tech has actually an incredibly high multiplier and high base special damage. He does hurt, but I feel like it's one of those things where it's like it's such a one-trick pony that you have to lean into so heavily. Like you got to mod him for crit chance as a special damage dealer. Good luck. Like that means like a ton of it.
It's a lot to ask there.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot
of benefit
for one thing, and so it's like my tech is Relic 8. Okay, at Relic 8,
all right.
you want
to
take a stab
show off over
Relic
here. Just
8,
to let that hang there for a
chance
second.
He has
how much crit chance?
65%.
I was gonna guess like 43%.
26, and that's
26.
That's with 5% from my modding. I don't.
Oh my
this
God.
is
man,
this is not my
awful.
personal modding. This is the raid mod. This is the TW
guild
mod
modded.
that I got on.
Yeah.
The guild mods. But that's my point. It's like 21% base crit chance. So like, to get him to a threat, you need to be pushing like 70 to 80% because there is crit chance on their places in the kits that will help him get over 100. But you got to get him over that initial like minimum threshold.
Do they have vulnerable on that team?
No,
I don't think
they
so.
don't. No, wait, somebody does.
Really? Vulnerable on that team?
I think Hunter has something.
I can't remember.
It might be a single target, but hold on.
Everybody going to SWGoH.
Yeah, right.
SWGoH.
SWGoH vulnerable. Who applies this?
Don't see any bad batch.
None of the bad batch. No.
Okay, I thought it's just buff or buff immunity. That's what it is. I thought buff immunity had another buff that goes with it.
Yeah.
But anyways,
keyboard noise is intensified.
It's one of those things where it's like you have to lean into that so hard that it's just like you're committing really good mods to something that's still going to lose to CLS. Like that's where I'm at with it. I'm just like, I don't like teams where it's like, can they be bananas good? Yeah. But if you put it on defense, it's not going to do anything because it gets beat by such easy mechanics. And then on offense, you got to pray that somebody puts down something that you can use to beat it with. I'm like, all right, well, that's me done. Like,
poor bad batch.
I could see some of the upper tier, like TW guilds going crazy and like, okay, for this TW, we're gonna have our text modded with this insane shit over here, and like going and doing some crazy GL counters, maybe. I could see someone pulling their pulling something out of their asses, but yeah, the mod investment you would need for that, like to be able to pull out a niche counter, I don't know, man.
An offense set with crit chance secondary with crit chance primary on the triangle, and it's still only gonna get you a minimum of another 28% crit chance. So you're at 50% there. That means you would need to pick up another 20% crit chance from your other 5 mods, which that's going to be a lot. And so
to be
it's
fair,
like,
I have heard
and
of like,
good speed and good speed. So it's like it's so much investment to do one thing.
To be fair, they have damage reduction level 6. They have bulk level 3. I have heard of Bad Batch like killing Ray, with a Relic 9 Wrecker and stuff like that.
Wrecker can tank whirlwinds.
So they can absolutely do some stuff.
Yeah, but they don't have the.
I'm not discounting Bad Batch. Just in case anybody.
After the set 14 dies and the Raycron goes away, then I think there is a chance for Bad Batch to come back. And modding specifically, you can get the Bad Batch to beat,
With your R9 Hunter, Wrecker.
yeah, to beat the Ray comps again, because they're going to change again when the offense scaling and stuff goes away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that being a thing at that junction, but right now it's just like they're just a nice pile of dead weight.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of use out of them, especially because like Qui-Gon Jinn teams these days, you're gonna have a hard time bad batching them if they've got Cam in there, and Anakin is modded semi-decently, getting a 70 additional speed, 100% extra offense in the level 6.
It's literally just putting
Keller and Beck is in
Keller
there.
and Beck. If Keller and Beck is in there, he screws bad batch as a counter outright.
Yeah.
Because if they get dazed or heal immunity, then he does things on the back end of his own. So it's like
he does tenacity up and stuff. So he's just like, big fuck you. So yeah.
Oh no, wouldn't it be shitty if this happened? Oh wait, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Sag. All right, cool. I think we should probably wrap it up there then, gentlemen.
I was going through like my notes and stuff. I actually had a question from last week. He's not in chat right now. I can still ask the question if you want to.
Yes, ask away, good sir.
We had a question from Tassinix. It says, I have a question.
Hey, Tassinix.
As a fellow follically challenged man, how can I raise my sex appeal without affecting a poor imitation of Scribe's admittedly sexual accent?
Oh. Phew. Well, Tass, my follicular challenged compadre. Yeah, it's true. It's true. If you lack the follicles on top of the head, you have to make up for a sex appeal in other areas. Jason Statham has already got that sort of, South London accent, so I can't go for the gruff one. I have to go for the, the posh one. I don't know what the American equivalent of that is. I mean, guys,
can you grow a better beard than Scribe? Because
that's not setting the bar very high, mate. That's really I imagine he already has a better beard than me.
Has a beard in that one.
I swear I've seen him rock a beard. I have seen Tass rock a beard.
I can't remember if it's recent. That would be my first go-to, of course, is like,
grow a bigger beard.
Grow the facial hair out. That's a good place to start. And then after that, you can play the game of.
I mean, Tass, you're a really clever dude. You just gotta find those women that get turned on by intelligence. They exist, and then boom, you'll be like, hey, do you want to see my R9 Clone Wars Chewie?
Beautiful.
I mean, it works every time. I don't have an R9 Clone Wars Chewie, and that's where he's going to stay.
Wolf does. Wolf, don't you have an R9 Clone Wars Chewie?
Oh, okay. So once again, we find a situation where both of you have got something shiny and cool, and I'm stuck here with a Gear 8 Clone Wars Chewie. Is he
Excuse
Gear 8?
me, shiny and cool? We're talking about Clone Wars Chewie here, buddy. Like, I use him as a joke sometimes.
Oh, this is an Uno reverse situation. Ha! Losers with your R9 Clone Wars Chewie.
We haven't used Clone Wars Chewie as a joke.
Oh, mine's actually Gear 4.
Oh, God.
I've not used him since the, intro, I guess. Gear 4, level 3 abilities. Except for his leader, which I maxed out, probably because of cheesing in Conquest.
Defense up,
yeah. That is how you
100%.
Clone Wars Chewie.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. On that note.
On that bombshell. I love it. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for joining at home, for you listening on Spotify and all other great podcast hosting websites. Then you guys are also rather sexy too. Carthrick, Mr. Wolfie, it's been a pleasure. I guess I'll speak to you all very soon. Got that Woodford. I'm going to have some. Amazing. Let's see who's live at the minute then. We'll see who we can raid into. Who is available today? Probably nobody right now. Creator. Oh, actually, no. GAC is actually Attack Phase is live. I think Creator is Spanish.
Yes.
So that might be a little bit confusing for some of the audience.
We got Rabid Beaver, Bates Master. You're not playing.
I'm low-key surprised that Calvin's not live right now.
Yeah, he normally is. I don't see Rabid Beaver at them. Oh, I do. Yes. Yeah, I'll take you over to Rabid Beaver. That's fine.
We're ending early, actually. We're under 3 hours today.
Oh my god!
Whoa.
And we had so much news to talk about. How did we not drag this out longer? How weird.
I think it's because we didn't fine-tooth comb everything like we normally do.
That's true. Oh, I can see.
Or we didn't get in the weeds nearly as much.
Yeah, we didn't talk enough about cockmath. That was the real takeaway here. We should have spent a little. We need more. Saying those words too quickly to each other. It's like we need more cockmouth. Yeah, it's been real. It's been real, guys.
On that note,
yeah, that's the best way to end this one. Peace out, guys. See you tomorrow.
Don't use teeth.
Don't use teeth.